Mic check. I think we are live, Twitch and YouTube. And what's fun is wrong window. Oh. Boom. And we're in game. All right. So I'm obviously joining this a little bit late. We are using Video Ninja Liberator. Thank you, brother. We are using the Video Ninja to cast here. This map, this looks like dead center to me, and already we're seeing an F-35A strike come in. Just like that, U.S. forces meta, U.S. OP, as we all know. Yeah, Liberator Cromwell's video is fantastic. He was actually just in here. All right, so this is a 3v3 draft tournament, and so the way this is working is the players come in and the team captains draft their teammates. So pretty exciting. We're on mostly small maps. For those of you who are kind of keeping track, some medium maps. It depends. I've got the whole list later. We'll cover that once we get in. And then obviously because we are using Video Ninja, we are watching one player's point of view. I think this is Mule's point of view because he sent me the link. So you're only going to see really one side's units. Steel Ball Leica, please add an observer mode. Please, please, please. More to talk about that later. All right, so what I'm looking at here. So one interesting rule for the tournament, and Comanche going to smoke this BTR. So every specialization has to be represented. So when you have 3 players, right, obviously 5 specs to choose from, so you're going to have at least one duplicate, but I think that's kind of a cool concept for balance. Snipers versus diversanti. I wonder how this is going to play out. F-35, is he going to do a bombing run on the diversanti? Let's see. Oh, and he's laser designating for himself. Oh, I didn't see if that hit. That's nice. That's a nice little micro play there. Fast Air. Hey, brother. Thank you for the email the other day too. We are going to cover that in Shark, please explain volume 4. So I appreciate that. All right. So dead center. This is, I like this map. This is kind of an interesting map. Primarily because, right, all the points are kind of clustered in the middle, but the map itself is still very wide. So there's a lot of, I talked about this in kind of the previous video, there's a lot of gameplay that revolves around like key terrain that's not an objective point. And you actually kind of see that, like the US side has not captured up Gulf here. Oh, of course, you can't see my mouse cursor. They haven't captured up Gulf, but they're also, 4 minutes from the end of the phase. So it's not really, there's no pressing concern to grab terrain that doesn't have tactical value. So I think that's kind of interesting. Let me see if I can put on some music here, because this is it's very quiet. This is the problem with this casting system. But other than that, this is pretty good for what we got, given the fact that it's not included. Oh, Killer Egg Train coming out. All right. So who are we watching? Is it Relica? I think we're watching Relica right now. And I just spilled a bunch of crap on my desk. That's fine. Hopefully my keyboard doesn't short out. But other than that, okay. So more sniper on sniper in the woods. And the Comanche. I love this helicopter micro. Relic already abusing. Yeah, no, okay, thank you, Mule. Yep, this is Relica's stream. This is a great way of kind of playing that helicopters. Comanche looks like he's got Hellfires and Stingers, and then as well as the cannon. And the way he's just kind of using that to put out fires, I think that's really smart. Mule, who else is on Relica's team. Yeah, the Diversanti trying to break out. Oh man, Killer Eggs got smoked. And then we see Dark Blue abusing the it looks like those are prisms probably. That might be, that's a Zilligath. So coming in, yep, launching some, they're either prisms or ATACMs, the ballistic missiles, and then immediately returning those units back to base. I mean, it's a smart way to deal with your heavy artillery. We talked about it in the previous tournament, previous video. The number of Code 3 veterans makes me laugh a little bit. But, all right. Oh, shocker. Coastal's in the middle. More Pehi. F-35, laser desing for itself. And yeah, that's a nice hit. So Relica, Smoko, Aziligath versus OTP Husky and Protrice. Okay. I know obviously Relica, Smoko, and Ozzy from Code Time, and then from Broken Arrow here. Yeah. There's a lot going on here. All right, another F-35 coming in. So he's got the loadout for this one is a Harm and a 2,000 pounder. Right, the 2,000 pounder is a laser JDAM, so it is it can be laser guided, and the F-35 can also laser designate for itself. So we're seeing quite a bit of that high micro requirement, but pretty capable. The F-35 is on hold fire. That's also pretty standard. So I normally don't actually put the F-35 on hold fire, but I turn off the harm. So that way the F-35 will still use its AMRAMs in self-defense, but won't fire the harm until I want it to. And it looks like, yeah, I love this. He's calling the bombing run and then laser designating. Oh, F-35 trying to get out. Su-27 chasing. Oh. Well, F-35 gets smoked. The Patriot PAC-3 gets one shot off on the Su-27, but doesn't kill it. I wonder, you know, the F-35 coming in and dropping and killing one unit, that's powerful, but it's still 355 points. So that might not always be the best trade. Which is something you have to consider. There's like tactical advantage and economic advantage. You know, the end of phase 1, each objective point only worth 1 point. So not worth selling out, especially a lot of destruction points or tactical advantage at the end of phase 1, really. Cruise missiles coming in from the Nighthawk. Snipers have found a BTR. And it smokes the Hellfire off. So you see the US team really playing pretty consolidated in the center. Relica's got a couple of Comanches kind of out on the flank and some snipers to try to spot. And really, like, the point of view is really interesting to me. And Mule, I don't know. I certainly don't play this way. I don't know if you do. But kind of playing, like, looking back at his own units, which I think is, yeah, that's interesting and relatively unique. I normally flip the map around the other way. Comanche, last Hellfire. Wow, it does get the kill on the BTR. Comanche's got to back off for resupply. Cruise missiles coming in from the other direction. Those have got to be the Tu-22 cruise missiles. Big hits on the supply. So Aziligath takes a couple of losses. And the dark red player there, the guy playing Coastals, makes some progress towards the Echo Point. Oh, Aziligath's got an M1A2 SEP V3 with trophy prowling around the middle there. How Relica's F-35 play has been on point. Right, really good sequence with the laser designation. He's actually bringing the F-35 back around. Tries to get an AMRAM off on the Su-27. F-35 eats a shot. Good. Oh, another one chasing him, but diverts to the last second. F-35 going to get away. Yeah, Mule, I agree. Um, and so it's interesting because Relica's playing the flank here, right? So he doesn't really need to push. He's basically playing like backline recon and airstrikes, which with soft M8 Thunderbolt, is this soft airborne? That's what that spec looks like to me. Soft airborne is nuts. Let me see. Oh, I really got soda everywhere when I spilled that. Awesome. All right, we're gonna put a little bit of. Actually, I don't want to do that because just in case. Here we go. How's that? How's the audio there in the background? Can you guys still hear okay? All right. Got some Broken Arrow soundtrack here. Cool. Soft airborne, valid air abuse combo. Yeah, the number of points you get for air. So very limited pushing capability. You get the Sheridans though, which are good for dealing with the super cheap BMPs, and then you just see Relica just spamming the air abuse, the laser designation to get max max precision on those LJ dams. That's really smart. And normally, I don't normally think about self-spotting, but you can see the micro attacks from how Relica's approaching it. But he's been getting his F-35s out pretty consistently. So well done there. The ballistic missile strikes, Aziligath, how many does he have in his deck? They're just constantly launching. And then meanwhile, you got Smoko and Zulu, the maneuver masters. This looks like a a striker marine deck, which is really like the ultimate high-speed maneuver deck for the Americans. Oh, Seed coming in, as well as are those the cluster cruise missiles from the Su-57? Those are also really, really dangerous. That's a wonderful loadout for the Su-57. This is, I really like this map for 3v3. I wish we could see what the Russian team was doing. And actually the point of view from Relica, while it's really cool to see the air micro, doesn't help us really see the rest of the map because he's facing back to the US side. But look at this tactical position that Smoko is taking up here. And he's got a lot of units on hold fire, a lot of visibility. And I think this is going to be, oh, you see the toss coming in. Oh, that's smoke. All right, so it looks like we're going to see a big Russian push here through the center going into the last couple of minutes of phase 2. Scout snipers spotting. Oh, there's an OSA in the back. Cruise missiles coming in. Those must be Iskanders. Su-57 in the back. Yeah, that OSA is dangerous. When it's stabilized, to be able to move around. Does a lot of damage, especially to helicopters. All right, Comanche's going to come in, try to get a shot off. The Hellfire should help it. Does the OSA see the Comanche yet? One shot. Comanche's going to back out and knocked out. Nice trade. The spotting with the sniper. That's really good team play there. And now we see Relica saved up because he's been so air dominant, bringing in a lot of these airborne with some Maws. That's a lot of anti-tank. I think that's probably exactly the need. Oh, that Su-57 just eats around, but it's not enough to kill it, so it's going to get away. And you see the recon battle over and over again. Now Relica bringing in an F-117, more cruise missile spam. Mule, I thought you said no cruise missiles. The name of the tournament, 100% skill, 0% cruise missile. Oh, the airborne find a Batman squad. Having them breach the building That's dangerous. And actually, the airborne NGSW losing to the GRU in the building, as you'd expect. But the NGSW bounce away, and now the airborne double up. Oh, here comes, is that a KA-29? And more Tu-22 cruise missiles coming in. They are so fast. This is a nice counter push into the middle, like kind of preemptive. You saw with the smoke, you expected the Russians to make a big push, but the American lodging some infantry in there. It looks like, honestly, all of the minimal amount of cruise missiles. It looks like all of the airborne infantry are going to die. Feed Monkey King. I really wish that we could do better video quality, but this is until they add an observer mode or a replay mode, we're forced to run based off streams. So let's petition Steel Balalaika, because I'm pushing this in 1080p, but I'm only receiving it in what appears to be slightly less or slightly sketchy 1080. Oh man, all of Relica's infantry, they grabbed a lot of terrain, but they got beat up. I think the advantages are going to have prevented any sort of real Russian push onto Echo. Karaski. Yeah, watching this one live. What I like about this point of view, though, is you see the micro, right? Because you see all the different player actions, so it's not just what the units are doing. That's the big thing is, yeah, if they stream it, we are also in the VC channel with all of them. So we're using Video Ninja, but the quality is limited. This is why you should just have a replay system. Man, look, helicopters coming in. Surface air missiles going out. Trying to deal with the ballistic missiles as well. And it looks like phase 2 probably going to end the same way as phase 1, right? Capture points all around. Destruction points exceedingly even. Which is kind of cool, like at super high level play, even with the purported game imbalance, to see high level players trade so evenly. Yeah, and so it's good on the Steel Balalaika for including smaller map formats of the base maps. But yeah, some like dedicated 2v2 or 3v maps could be really 3v3 maps could be really cool. So phase 2 going to be a draw as well. And so based on what we saw in the 2v2 tournament a couple weeks ago, this is really kind of the critical juncture right here. Who can make a push now to grab some key terrain to set themselves up for not just, you know, a terrain capture point victory, but also like gain some destruction score, because offense in this game can be punishing to your KD. Man, the ballistic missile strikes from a Zilligath, just the US side with so much air and so much high-end artillery, putting a lot of pressure on the Russian AA network. And so it's really just going to see, like, honestly, I can't wait to see what Smoko does, you know, in the teal here with this Striker Marine build. See if he can generate some momentum. It looks like he's worked his way onto Hotel with some Force Recon Marines. F-35 coming in, laser desing. But it's going to bounce away. I didn't actually see a bomb get off. What is meta? All right, the recon spot, Spetsnaz creeping in. Yeah, again, you just see the crazy APM. Oh, wow, the Russian side is taking the advantage in KD. Relica coming in with multiple F-35s. Smoko, it looked like he made a push with a couple of Cobras there. But the Russians must have decent recon on the back line because they're spotting some of this supply that Smoko's got set up. And like what I appreciate about this, oh, nice shot comes in on the Russian supply depot. There's a lot going on here. You see the distribution of units, right? There's like, you're not seeing whole platoons move around. You're seeing a nice balance. A couple of helicopters, different weapons teams, recon vehicles. F-35 is going to lob some AMRAAMs at that Su-30. Oh, one of them streaks in, gets the kill. Nice, that evens out the KD. Yes. Yes, fast air. I think, you know, observer mode should be easier to do than replay. I think that's easier to implement. Oh, and the laser guided bomb from the F-35. Those 2,000 pounders are so nice. Now, what Relica needs to be, he needs to be careful, right? Because you can only have 4 F-35s in your deck. The turnaround time, you want to make sure you have them available for kind of the end of the game push here. And with these 10-minute phases, it's really quick. So you have to manage, you have to pay attention to the clock and manage when you send your air units back. Because that F-35 had gotten shot down, he would not get it again for this match. One side or the other. Wow, Relica 2.14 KD. That's a support player right there. So it looks like Smoko wants to make a push onto Hotel, and I think they're trying to time this up. He's got a lot of units on the flank there. That's like really nice positioning to apply some pressure. The Russian team is going to make the move first onto Echo. And those Comanches need to restock. Only 2 Hellfires per with the Stingers on there. Oh, ballistic missiles come in, but the Russian team secures Echo. This is dangerous for the US side, because if you have to make a big push in the last couple minutes, you might grab that territory back. But if you end up losing a bunch of units in the process and the KD shifts too much, that can really put you in jeopardy. Because remember, this map, it's got 6 territory points. So if it's 3 and 3, each side gets 1 territory objective point. Oh, B2 coming in. This is the nuke. This is the strategy. Can the B2 come in and get away and clean up for the US forces? There's not a lot of time left on the clock. Yeah. Oh, is it going to get in, and is the B2 going to get away? That's the big question. Nuke away. Big hit. Not that many kills. B2 looks like it's going to get away just fine. Interceptor coming in after it. If they can get the B2 shot down, that's 1,000. It's 1,000 points. That's going to work out for the Russians. Wow, that's huge. Russian team, nice reaction with the Su-30 to kill the B2 on the way back. And now the American side, they're trying to grab Echo. They're trying to grab Hotel. They're behind on territory. They can at least flip territory, but they also got to flip the KD. 4 minutes left. Yeah, Karaski, I agree with you. I think that's GG. Here comes another toss barrage onto Echo. Yeah, the Russian team did a good job keeping their units separated out. Now Guardians and Comanches coming in. The problem though, oh man, the pilots, they're just feeding points to the enemy team. Here comes a tour. You see the helicopters dropping down low, trying to get between buildings. You got to take up a lot of territory. Territory's even right now. The Americans need at least one more point. Oh, some good kills. Cruise missiles coming in. And now the Russians a 2 objective point lead in terms of KD. Smoko making his push north of Hotel, trying to squeeze in on the flank there. Yeah. Oh, man. They got the toss. They're going to grab Echo and Fox. They need to grab Fox and Hotel, and they need to even out this KD disparity. Oh, the weapon squad caught out in the open. That's not good. The Derivatia is going to do some... Oh, Comanche kills the Derivatia with the Hellfire. Wow. Aziligath and Relica getting a lot of kills here on Fox. I think the push that Smoko is making on Hotel is distracting, keeping the Russian team occupied. And the Americans trying to grab Fox. KD is still back in the Russians' favor. Comanche trying to hit that AGS team in the building. That's going to take forever to kill. And they actually got to be careful. Some of those AGSs can kill helicopters. Spetsnaz in on Fox. Oh man, the Spetsnaz they're just too good. AT, anti-air, and good CQB unit. Look at this. It's taken 5 infantry squads on Fox to try to force out 1 Spetsnaz GRU squad. Now Russian armor on the way. The Americans managed to grab Hotel, but there's a Russian counter push on that as well. Helicopters in the back. Killer eggs coming in. We're getting into the final 90 seconds here. There's not a lot of time for reinforcement. Now Su-57 coming in. Looks like we're going to see... Oh, the cluster cruise missiles. Fortunately, only infantry there. They don't take a ton of damage. Americans up on territory points. And just like that, they flipped it, right? With 5, now they get 3. They flipped the KD. That's exactly what they needed. And now killer eggs coming in, a combination of Hellfires and Stingers. Right, just trading so efficiently, hunting down these SAMs. Oh, big kills. KD advantage almost eradicated for the Russians. They're up 1 point. But there's not time left for a counter push. Look at all this infantry, the combination of Ranger Maws and airborne squads make it hard for armor to get in. Look at this. Smoko owns the entire right side of the map by Hotel. Now the Russians got to fight to get out of spawn. Aziligath bringing more ballistic missiles in. Relica's got another F-35. Where is this going? Yeah, fantastic counterattack. It's with these 10-minute phases, you really only have F-35. Where's the drop? Oh, misses the T-80. Does some damage though. And that's the game right there. The U.S. team Relica, Smoko, Aziligath is going to beat Dirty Air Spammer, Proteus, and Hippias. So, wow, that is exciting game 1. That's cool. I like this format. Mule, who is the team captain? Because it doesn't show here. Look at even then, look at the KDs. Smoko and Aziligath almost at 0.5, right? Trading destruction points for territory. Relica in the back. Soft airborne. Wow. Soft airborne leading the way. Look at these F-35 kills. That's just nasty. Yeah. Yeah, that's the USF meta right now. If you've got either soft airborne or soft striker. Relica, if you can hear me, scroll back up to that B2. I want to see what the Russians did, but they had a bunch of cheap anti-air, and then they had some Su-57s with the cluster cruise missiles and the harms. This is why B2 Spirit. All right. So a lot of infantry, but almost certainly did not get it wasn't an even trade, right? So good for, you know, some wow, Wow, that's real close in terms of the math. I'm not going to sit here and do math in public, but it's close. With the Terminator, that gets it really close. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this swag math works out faster. The nuke. So for those of you who, if you didn't see my video where I kind of went over the lessons learned from the 2v2 tournament, there's a lot about like phase 1 and phase 2 are in these smaller game modes, competitive game modes. It's a lot more about like being in the right position for the end of the game, because phase 3 the points are worth so much more. So like you saw that, and it's all about timing that last push. I don't think the nuke didn't do that much in way of destruction. Actually really helped the Russians with the destruction score when they killed the B2. But I think clearing out a lot of that infantry made it easier for them to push. Really where I think the Americans won it was the simultaneous push through the middle, and then the Smoko sliding in from the side there onto Hotel, right? Because that just occupied a flank, and you really didn't see, you know, a counter strategy from the Russians on that. I think they ended up playing a little bit more defensive on the flank than they wanted to, and they were pushing mainly through the center. So some of it may be map approach, but yeah, really well played there from the US team at the end. That was a very nice comeback. So let me pull up Discord. Let me see where we're at here. Oh my gosh. Oh, Pro Trees. Okay, so he's looking at wow. Pro Trees got a lot of value. You see the S300 is hippiest. Nice. All right, let's check on the state of these things. Let me see, where are the rules? Okay. I wish there's got to be a way. I'm going to close down. All right. We are, oh, but I'm missing the music, the audio. You guys are missing it. 1 second here. That's the one that I wanted. Okay. You guys should have music. More Broken Arrow music. Let me set this up here while they get the next game going. Fast air. Sorry. Nuke was on 850. 157 the B2 is worth it to clear the point and win. Yes, I agree with that analysis. That makes a lot of sense. If they shot down the fighter, they killed it too. That was probably break even on points. I think that SU-30 did die. Yeah. And so much of this, you guys are spot on in your analysis here. So much of this game mode is about like the tactical value of terrain and your units versus the point value. Especially getting into like him, all you're trying to do is set up for the end of phase 3. So, yeah, that was a great match as a reminder, right? So Here, let me Alec, I don't know. I'll ask Relica about that. That's an interesting question. Well, so Karaski, because he only has one bomb, so it really doesn't matter. And he's laser designating, right? But the bomb's gonna follow the laser regardless. I don't know that there's a functional difference between using the bombing run and using the precision strike, as long as he was. He had one 2,000 pounder and a harm, and then he was having the F-35 laser designate as it was flying. All right, they are setting up match 2. Let me ping Relica real quick. See if I can get a higher quality link here. Meanwhile, while these guys are setting up the next game, going over the rules here a little bit. So multiple maps here. Most of them are set to small. So Riga Airport, Dead Center, Chernyakhovsky, Black Coast, Klaipeda, Bay of Winds, Ruta Forest, and Suwalki. Those are using the small preset. Shkalovsk Air Base and Snow Castle using the medium preset. The lobby, in case you guys want to duplicate this at home. So starting resources 1,000, income 300, upkeep 2. No change there. Time limit is 30 instead of 45. That's why you're seeing the 10-minute phases. Bonus requisition set to 50 from 100. So that's the bonus points that you get at the end of each phase. Let's see, Relica. Okay. Seed determination. So this is they're working through some rules, but essentially right now, 3-player teams, best of 2, no mirror matches, no mixed faction teams, set winners determined by summarized victory points of both games, right? So you're not doing a best of 3, just doing 2 and taking a look at the points that you've scored. So there is value in running up the score. Every specialization must be present in the team. Russian Coastal is limited to 1 per team. US Spec Ops limited to 1 per team. Sudden death. If a sudden death occurs, the team who is executing the sudden death will be awarded maximum points for a game, while the team getting sudden death will still have their points count towards their total points. All right, remember it's a best of 2. Surrender clause. If a team surrenders or leaves the game before it's officially over, maximum points will be awarded as if they had achieved a sudden death. So team captains selected by voting at the start of the event, and then captains will pick players to their teams. Orders of drafting randomized at the start of the draft. New players can fill into teams between games if a player has to resign from the event. So this is pretty cool. I like this. Essentially what Mule is doing here is he's setting up for a larger 3v tournament. And so this is kind of like a test run of the rules, but we decided to cast it to get some, a little bit of publicity and also to watch some of this like super high level play. All right. So it looks like Relica is messing with his video settings. The color is definitely brighter here. All right, let me reset. It looks like they're trying to get Aziligath back in the game. They're setting up for game 2. We're going to swap sides here. This time we're going to be on Ruta Forest. Oh, so Feed Monkey King says, I have heard if you do precision strike, it may not drop when the unit's on hold fire, but if you do a bombing run, it does. Karaski, congrats on getting your video up. Yeah, Feed Monkey. We'll have to check on that. That's something else to test. an upcoming video. All right. What's your videos too long? Bro, you've seen my videos, right? All right. Funny, I don't want to miss anything here. But it looks like they're still kind of getting set up for the next match. Yeah, the downside, like, cause I could try to cast based on the Discord feed, but then I would be in with their audio. Which might not be, I mean, it might not be the worst thing in the world. Okay, so before apparently it was set to 720. So this now looks like it's set to a higher resolution. Rutaforest, Karaski, you know I love Rutaforest. I think it's one of my favorite maps. But as an infantry and airstrike enjoyer, that's where I love to hang out. All right, so looks like from Hippie, we're going to see Marine Striker. From Pro Trees, we're going to see Armor Soft. And from Dirty Airsman, we're going to see Marine Striker. This is an interesting combination. What are we missing? They're missing Airborne. So they shouldn't be able to ready up. They're supposed to have all factions. So maybe Mule will get that sorted out. So Armor Soft with the rules that they are using for this tournament, where you can only have one US Soft, you only have one RU Coastal. I think it makes most sense to pair the US Soft with either Airborne or the Striker setup, because you get access to so many more air points in your deck, right? And the strength of the US Soft deck, especially in a team format, is being able to bring a lot of aircraft. So I don't know. Yeah, Smoko caught it. There you go. You have to have Airborne. Podpolkovnik. Oh, all right. Dirty Air Spammer figured out. Bone to Zone. I am in my server in the streaming channel. Let me find you real quick. Bober, where's Bober? Okay. All right. Let's see. Where's the... All right, let's try this. Close this out for a second. And all right, there we go. Oh, Relica, that looks so much better, dude. That's fantastic. Thank you. Bober, give me 1 second. I will drag you in here. Yes, Karaski, this will be live on YouTube. You can watch this whenever you want. It should stay. I found you. Yo, Bober, you got me? Yeah. Yeah, how you doing, brother? Yes, I can. Dude, he figured it out. The quality of this. Oh, this looks so good. Yeah. So the only downside is the lack of audio, right? So I've obviously got the Broken Arrow soundtrack playing. I want there to be some audio, but like even last time I did this, I was playing music that said it had no copyright, and Twitch still gave me a copyright issue. And what I don't want is for the VOD for this to end up being broken. Yeah. Just because like I want people to be able to watch it post execution. All right. Ruta Forest. Oh, this is the thing. The map doesn't update, right? So it's a small version of the map. I think Delta Hotel Golf India are not on this map, but it doesn't show. Oh, Delta is. Okay. So you get the 2 flank points, you got the 4 in the middle. Cool. I got into the first game just a skosh late, so I've been speculating wildly about the strategy. We're watching. Go ahead. So why is there one strong side on Ruta Forest? Hmm. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. This is interesting. So we're seeing much heavier air attacks in 3v3 than we saw in the 2v2 tournament. And I think like it makes sense, right? The map's the same size. I think there's just a little bit more safety in the fact that you've got a third player, right? Because 2v2, like you can't attack the whole map at the start. The teams that were successful in 2v2, you'd play like one guy in the middle, one guy on the flank. But in the last match, we saw Relica play almost a complete support role, and it really worked.
Like different play styles. Like Relica is a very supporty player. He's a very sit back. I don't have units on the field, but I have planes in the air type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if we have one person in the middle here, one person playing the flank, and then give Relica solely control of like he has to handle D, and then everything else can be dumped in the planes, I feel like it's going to work out really well for them. Relica is an insane air abuse player. He is kind of crazy with his planes. And I say that as he's driving them into the enemy's base air defense, but that's okay.
So he loses one of the SU-35s. The SU-35s, they're really nice anti-air platform because they're not hyper expensive. I say that as he lost 2 for only 520 points, so 260 a piece. But they have that was it the R-37, the 9,000 range Russian air-to-air missile?
Yeah.
And Mule, thank you. I didn't realize I had Discord muted, so we got everyone can hear Bober's voice. The first,
hello.
Yeah, for the first minute or so you were muted, but they got your soliloquy, so you're good here. Air decks, yeah, SU-35 is probably the best cheap interceptor in the game, right? You know most of those air-to-air aircraft have the 12,000 high altitude range. And at 260 points, you can leave them in the back, and then their ECM is still very, very good.
Yeah. Leaving them hovering back at that ECM, even if the S-300 or the Patriot gets a stray shot off, they accidentally go too close, you'll usually be able to dodge it.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. The only missile that can one-shot it is the PAC-2, but it's semi-active, so it has to maintain sight. So your bigger threat are going to be the pack 3s, but those aren't a one shot. So if you keep it far enough back, you can find it and kill it. Oh, the GRU, they find a vehicle in the wood line, Marines pop out of it, and they immediately pop smoke and bounce in the opposite direction, trying to get back towards friendly units. Yeah, and this is what I like about the 3v3. You see Smoko getting involved on the flank as well. And it looks like Relica trying to help over here with a Zilligath, take control of Charlie. They're getting doubled up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm seeing 2 colors on C. That Spetsnaz is dead.
Yeah.
Had no chance against the Marine, let alone a Marine and a Ranger.
Yeah.
The Americans really want this C point. That VDV DSH squad, 5 men, gonna get mowed down pretty quickly here.
So
they have a few units here on the bow. So Diversantes and ambush. Yeah, that'll handle the AMPV.
Yeah, the ignores APS. So like the Ranger Maws, but on steroids there.
Yeah.
Yeah, air attacks. The SU-30 also has a really nice loadout, but you're right. It has no stock ECM. So it's really rush. What's the max? What is the aircraft setting of max impact on both tanks and infantry? That is a great question. The Tu-22 with the fast cruise missiles is really rough to deal with. The Su-34 can bring in a bunch of stuff. I usually like to see people use clusters paired with the incendiaries. The Su-57 is sneaky, and I see at the really high level, yeah, more cruise missiles. I see players combine with the Su-57 because it's got that stealth, it's got good ECM, it comes with some air-to-air missiles, so they add some anti-radiation missiles, and they add the smart cluster cruise missiles. And that's a really brutal combination against vehicles, especially like artillery and anti-air. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at
I see a lot of players using the Su-57 in multi-role configurations too. It's just so hard to shoot down. Yeah. You get the ECM and the stealth. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And when you can bring in an Su-35 to do your interceptor work, it makes more sense, right? Like the F-22 doesn't have an equivalent like air to ground payload, so it's best used as an interceptor. Wow, look, cruise missiles just streaking in.
And here we see the peak broken arrow gameplay from Russia. Just cruise missile after cruise missile after cruise missile.
The Tu-22 cruise missiles are literally twice as fast as any other missile. And so it makes them just really, really hard to dodge. And I know you want units. I know you want like units to be grounded in reality. I know you want them to feel unique, but that's just one of those gameplay mechanics where you want the game to be fun to play. And so, oh wow, that Prowler got smoked.
Yeah. Destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so this is the Russians in a little bit of or not the Russians, the Americans in the lead slightly on KD and effort in terms of territory. Smoko's struggling a little bit on the flank.
Yeah, he is. And Relica's going to have a really hard time taking C back because he lost control of that forest to it on the left. If you can control that, it's so strong. You just keep 2 or 3 infantry squads in there and it makes a push on the C nearly impossible because even if you clear out the point, they'll come rushing out immediately after.
Yeah, well, and it's the forests really favor infantry play, which I feel like. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't think Relica has a deck that's suited to play that side of the map, that specific point, just because of how much forest play you need. He doesn't really have the infantry to help deal with that, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that's why you see him sliding over to help Smoko a little bit. It looks like he's getting control of Bravo. So much of this, especially in the shorter game modes, right? So like when you have the 10-minute phases as opposed to the 15-minute phases, revolves around tactical positioning and trying to, like, you want to be the one holding terrain and defending terrain when, you know, the ends of phases roll up. Because if the opponent's got to throw a big counterattack, you can usually make up for it with destruction score.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is
pretty heavy skirmishing going on B here. They don't really have much infantry on the field at all in the city here. I mean, who is that dark blue player? Is that...
That's a Zilligath, yeah.
Yeah. Ozzy's pulling up with some of his infantry, but infantry on this side of the map especially is very important just because of all the tight angles, all the buildings. And I feel like if Relica's team here tries to play mostly vehicles, they're going to get schwacked up.
Yeah, especially the Marines, good all around infantry with decent anti-vehicle, and then a couple of these Moz squads, right, in the wood line. Now, at least the Moz squads are semi-squishy. But yeah, I feel like the main thrust of the Russian approach here needs to be more towards Delta, not Charlie, because you're opening yourself up to getting flanked, right? The US team has sat on Delta for so long, you don't know how far they've infiltrated on your flank. And we saw
they have no eyes over there.
Yeah, Smoko did a fantastic job in the last game, grabbing, setting up on the flank of Hotel on the previous map. So I'm hoping to see something along those lines here. The Russian vehicles can be really, really deadly, but looks like a lot of like partial health units that really just need to get back and heal up. He's going to get some snipers in buildings. Yep, and this is what we were worried about. There's the yep. Booker. Chrysanthema is a good answer for it. Ooh, but
yeah, that Chrysanthema hit him in the ass, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he killed the Booker, but it's wounded for sure. Oh man, yeah. RRC smoking those snipers as they try to infill. Russian team definitely on the back foot here going into the end of phase 1. Not in terms of score necessarily, but the positioning is not great.
Yeah, they're only going to get +1 here if they can keep them from getting the kills on the US. And then I think they just need to pull back and recuperate a bit and try again. They're trying to skirmish with half health units and stuff. It's just not going to work out for them.
The irony being, I say that, and Smoko grabs Alpha and evens up the territory point score. US side going to be slightly in the advantage on KD. And I might have been wrong. I can't tell who's purple, but they're using the armor soft deck. And my point kind of going into this, I was worried that they wouldn't have enough air support, right? Because you only get one soft player, and so normally if you want to spam air, you need to go soft striker or soft airborne to max out the air points in your deck. But those AMPVs, the infantry play has been good. The AMPVs give you a lot of pushing power.
I think if you go soft armor, they have it's like what 1250 air points. That's enough for like 3 F-35s, and I mean that's nothing to raise your nose at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're not going to get a B2. You're not going to have an F-22.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you're not going to see the air abuse that we saw from Relica. Well, it looks like the Russian side has stabilized the left side line here a little bit. And yeah,
they're not getting prodded at anymore. It's going to be really good for them.
Man,
it seems both sides have elected to just kind of pull back and refill their guys. What were you going to say? Sorry?
I was going to say, like, Smoko and Zulu with their like maneuver warfare decks, they're insane every time.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
They just eat up territory. Although Smoko's tank gets annihilated by an airborne squad over on the flank. Maybe
is this the caster curse?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Aussie bringing up the TOS 1 here, going to help him clear out those buildings behind C, potentially the forest as well. That's actually the tool they need here.
Well, Prowler
try and get back in there.
The Prowler found an S300 as well. Oh, the Chrysanthema gets spotted. I think the forests around Delta are far more infiltrated than the Russian team realizes.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even when the Chrysanthema took a shot there, I don't even think they saw what it was from.
Yep. Yeah, air tax, I think you're spot on as well. Smoko has given up a lot of the flank around Alpha. That could also be infested with little recce units. That was another thing we saw from, in particular from Mule in the 2v2 tournament, was the ability, just putting a unit on the back line to give you intel on what units are being called in. Not even trying to kill them, but just to be better prepared. There's a lot of value there. Oh, the Book going for the Prowler. Oh my god, missiles go straight into the dirt. That's so tilting.
He had to turn off the radar. I think he panicked. Sentinel up above. That's going to get shot down, though.
Yeah, that's a free 200 points.
Throwing your Sentinel that close is never a good idea. You can sit it pretty far back and still have amazing vision. They're so expensive to just throw away like that.
Yeah, but look at this US side. For all this talk of like Russian bias, US won the last game and right now is sitting pretty. Good territory advantage going into the middle of phase 2. Air Texas.
I think the US team has realized that the flanks are really weak, so they're trying to pressure the center now because they know that's where all the enemy units are. They're trying to just move up these Maws, move up these Rangers, and pick off a vehicle here or there.
Yeah. And then you see like Relica and Zilligat, they're so clustered together. And you're starting to see artillery come in. It can be dangerous. Now they're spread apart enough, and in like 2v2 and 3v3, the artillery, you don't have to worry about the arty spam as much. Tube artillery is not quite as capable as the rocket stuff, but still risky to be so clumped up.
This is Relica's Taz. It's mistaken. The colors look too similar.
Yeah. You guys, everyone's got to use the standard multiplayer colors. I published them in a video. As soon as the Broken Arrow came out, just use them.
See here, he's going to try to barrage that tree line first, it seems.
Yeah, that F-16 that's loitering, that seems really close. Like, I like the idea of having a loitering aircraft that can come in and pop a strafing run. But if you're that close to the front line, you run the risk of getting shot. Oh, the toss with the smoke.
There we go.
Nice. All right, setting the stage for a little bit of a push. I actually like that to break up the line of sight. GBs in the forest here, they're not ready for a Kurganets with Shturmoviki engineers.
Oh yeah, here comes their thrust. Yeah, they really have to take back some of these points. They got 5 minutes left to do it.
Wow. Relica getting some good kills here. The Booker now taking some damage. Oh, there's an Abrams in the woodline, but guard Motostrelki on top of it. Their RPGs are nothing to sneeze at. Kurganets swinging on the flank.
Gonna try to get the 57 mil shots on the rear.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want to be in a short range fight surrounded, and that M1A1 goes down.
Oh, Smoko deep striking as well with the Terminator back behind C.
Oh, they set up a nasty little 3v2 here. They gave up Alpha and Bravo. You see the US side reacting as Abrams come in on the flank. But that was a nice big push. I wonder about the timing of it, but I should know by now to trust these guys over my own instincts.
Yes, they don't look like they have a lot to deal with those Abrams pushing up on the right. All that T-14's battered up.
Yeah, once the Terminators lose their missiles, they're not very capable anti-vehicle platforms. But yeah, it looks like the Russians going to take this whole left side of the map in deep.
You saw some pings there going off on the Russian side of D. They might have units still behind them, behind their push. That's not good. They're going to need to sweep those up. Oh, the cluster barrage coming in. That's going to harry that Abrams a bit. Only one of them, though.
Oh, the push onto Delta, there's a Booker there, and actually with the Shturmoviki there, they don't have any good AT. Oh, nice counter push onto Echo. RRC, Ranger Maws, and AMPVs in the
very
point there.
strong position for those Maws.
Oh yeah, but the Terminators with the I'd say Mark 19s, so not Mark 19s, but their grenade launchers, that's actually going to eat them up pretty good.
Smoz on D, double Smoz. That Kurganets is dead.
So is this BRM here.
Yeah. The Booker might take some damage, but that BRM is going to die.
Wow, it is. If the shock is hitting it much harder than you think, the BRM does get smoked. Wow, look at that. Nice counter push, right? Good work by the red player there to recognize that Smoko flipped into the middle. And Smoko, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that just shows like the level of these players that we're viewing here. This really is some of the top tier gameplay you can get right here. Recognizing that one of the enemies has flanked and working as a team to try and exploit the weakness that they knew they would have on E with all those units forcing D and C. Very strong game knowledge here.
Yeah. I love this, like, Relica's super zoomed in. Echo's gonna be cleared out.
Yeah, they're gonna get that back.
Now,
low HP Terminator trying to go for F. I don't think it's gonna be able to do much though.
no, he might just be trying to use it to spot since it's out of ammo, very damaged. I wonder if Smoker's gonna be able to recover any of these vehicles. Oh yeah, what's the Strike Eagle hitting?
Going for that Wounded Armada probably? Oh no, he's going for the draws. Interesting. Maybe they didn't know that Wounded Armada was there.
He's got to get the Eagle out. The Eagle's loitering and then gets shot down. That seems like a little bit of a misplay. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it must have been a very heat of the moment thing, trying to shut down any possibility of the counter push. They have the budget to throw away a unit or two like that.
Yeah, the US side territory is evened out now, but US side ahead on KD.
Mm-hmm. It's really not by much. If they if this Terminator can get this heli, I think it might even it up almost.
Mm-hmm.
He's going for it.
Russian side again attacking Delta. Yeah, if they can hold Fox for a minute and grab Delta, that'll give the Russian side an advantage going into the end of phase 2. But I doubt they can hold on to Fox. Oh, Tor smokes a killer egg, a whole 65 points. Oh yeah, Delta is going to stay in US hands. Bunch of Marines show up at the last second. Buratino.
Yeah, I think they told Aussie to move over to D there with his infantry. It's just not... The forest and armor do not correlate. They do not get together well.
Yeah, so Fox is going to go back to the US side just in time for the end of the phase. You know what? I will say, like, nice dynamic gameplay. Like, I always appreciate when folks at this level get hyper aggressive because it's more fun to watch. But that whole sequence of events not really going to work out for the Russian team at all. They're now down 8-1 going into phase 3. And you only got really like 5 minutes to set up for the end of the game. And you have to try to grab a bunch of territory. And honestly, like, even if you lose this one, you can't give up 9 more points here because you'll end up losing the match just based on score. Right? It's a best of 2. So you gotta be... it's weird. Like, you have to be aggressive, but you can't feed destruction points to your opponent either.
The Russian units are looking pretty sparse here. I wonder if they can even pull this back, to be honest. It's going to be interesting to see if they can.
Yeah.
Relica getting a little frustrated. The KD's there, maybe. Saw him shake his mouth a little bit.
Yeah, he's not used to being below 2, so.
Mm-hmm. I think they took Relica out of his element by making him produce anything other than planes and helicopters.
Yeah, we have not seen anywhere near as much of the air spam this game as we normally see from him. Yeah, so fast air. I wonder if we see an airdrop on round 3 to quickly steal a point. That might be like a late. It'd have to be super late because yeah, the units take too long to drive to the front. So if you get to a certain point in the match, calling in additional tanks doesn't do anything for you. But if that thing gets shot down, now you've just fed 1,000 points to your opponents. Oh man,
yeah, it doesn't even need to get shot down. If it gets the drop off and it drops into like a prepared position, they have no recon on the right and no recon on the left. They have one sniper in the center and that's it.
And this is where coordinating this in real time becomes really difficult because like you're trying to do math on the fly. Like, how many points did we win the last game by? Right? How many points do we need to get back? Like, you're it's like watching professional soccer, right? With like,
what sacrifices can be made? Exactly. Yeah. Another TAWS coming up. I feel like that should have been sooner rather than later here.
Yeah, I wonder if Ozzy's going to trade in his they're not the Koalitzia Malkas. That tube artillery, I don't know that it's been doing a whole lot for him.
Not much, no. And the Malkas especially are not good for really sniping at buildings or anything because they have such a large dispersion on their shot. They're more suited for shooting at backline supply dumps, at least in my opinion. At least I don't think they're very good for clearing infantry out of buildings, like say the Tulpan. Perhaps the Tulpan, they have these snipers up here. If they could have Tulpans up, that would be much better.
Yeah, or just like a couple of tornadoes you can bring in, lob some missiles and bounce. Oh, F-35 comes up and immediately annihilated. Oh, the air defense net is alive for the Russians at least.
Smoko seems to be trying to make a push for B.
Yeah,
doesn't seem to be much movement from his teammates here, though. They should be capitalizing on this if they can.
I think part of the problem is like that forest between Charlie and Delta is again infested with infantry. And so I actually, like Ozzy's sliding to the right. I actually like this. If Smoko can hold the center and Ozzy can slide over to Alpha, they might be able to catch the US team off guard and grab some terrain going into the last couple of minutes. But
yeah, we're gonna have to see how this plays out.
Ozzy's trying to grab Delta and Alpha at the same time. That's dangerous. This game is really, really tough to play. Like you can't play wide effectively because there aren't the audio visual cues that maybe you're used to when your units are in contact. Stuff just kind of dies. And so very risky.
Set V2 trophy out. Those are the units that you only see in these smaller game modes here. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, more seps. Those are hard to dislodge. Oh, plus the Miklik as well. And you can see, team weapons in some of these buildings as the missiles come in and get blocked with APS. Oh, that's one Abrams kill by a Kurgan. Yes.
Very nice. Yeah. Very good play there. I feel like the Russian team here is doing exactly what the Americans want, though, moving them back towards Foxtrot so they can walk into all those team weapons. Double Trooper in that high rise there, they're going to get annihilated pretty quickly. It looks like they get their jabs off.
Oh, another...
Don't connect because of smoke.
Another F-35 gets shot down. KD sliding in favor of the Russians. Territory slowly adjusting, but still in the U.S. team's favor. Less than 5 minutes left. This is where it's getting critical. Oh, yeah. Rangers say, hey, thanks for the cool Jeep in the wood line.
Yeah. The panic's probably starting to set in for the Russian team now, though. They have 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to even up the cap points at least. I'm not sure what the previous game score was. Oh, those troopers got annihilated by that Taz.
Yeah, KD's too close. They gotta think like they have all this ground in the center, but it's not an objective point. All right, Relic is bringing in the Su-57.
What's the loadout he has on that? Did you get a chance to see it?
I can't see it until he selects it again. I imagine it's going to be the Meta 2 anti-radiation missiles. Yep, and 2 of the cluster crews. All right, so now he's flipping the camera around.
Getting ready for the strike.
He's trying to predict.
Oh, I think that Abrams stopped as he sent those missiles out.
Yeah, let's see. They're coming in. Relic is too much of a pro to look. Oh, he did. He got it.
There we go.
He got it. It's like, cool guys don't look at explosions, right? So he micros a unit away. That Su-57 build's so strong.
Yeah. It's looking pretty bleak. It's looking pretty set and done here. They can hold B, but they don't really have much on the field to push these other points. Their armor isn't going to really help them as much as they'd hope because they're just going to get annihilated by team weapons and infantry squads.
Yeah. Prowler taking some hits from the back line. Yeah, I think they need to push on Alpha and Charlie at the same time and see if they can just get some like lucky breaks with positioning. There's a Guardian. There's a Tour moving forward now. It needs to find and deal with that. Oh, T90 knocked out.
Ultimate Reekley luck on that first shot for that heli.
Oh, it does get cleaned up by the Tour. The Tour can just fire all day.
Yeah, I think even if he had reacted instantly, he was dead there.
Oh man, Smoko moving in on Alpha, but there's a lot of anti-vehicle infantry units hidden in those buildings.
Oh yeah, wow, look at that.
Humvee tows. That's bad. That does not bode well.
And the MLRS dropping right on top of him. Perfectly aimed MLRS.
That hurts. Is that an Armada over there too? Or is that just
That
a T90?
is, yeah. That is an Armada.
That's a lot of points. US 2 minutes
Aussie
left.
Trying to cap C here, but they're moving the Marines in. They're gonna get cruisered, it looks like. I think that is. I hope. They need the cruiser to deal with that. Oh, and Abrams though too. Maybe this Terminator can get up on the flank of the Abrams and really lay into it. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
those are the Malkas he fired, yeah. Another Marine squad in there. I don't think they have much to dislodge those boys.
No, T-80 is moving in. At least they have the like Hesh rounds, which do good damage to infantry units and buildings. This is one of those. I actually can't believe the destruction score is in favor of the Russians right now with how aggressive they've had to be. Rangers moving in. There's the Abrams. I don't think this armor push onto Charlie is long for this world. There's just too much here. APS saving lives. Oh my god, so much artillery coming in.
That Taz might have saved it, actually. Oh no, those Rangers are going to be there too. Yeah, they're not going to be able to kill this stuff in time. 20 seconds to kill it here.
Certainly not enough to make up 7 points. Oh, well, yeah, take it back. Not. Now it's even for the final phase, but I don't think they're going to get the lead here. We're going to have to do crazy math to figure out. Oh, supply dump smashed. 35 seconds.
Capping it back now, yeah. So is that a full cap? Oh, they can get this. If they wipe out this Ranger right now, they can get this. 30 seconds to cap. They started capping at 33. It's going to be down to the wire here.
T90 driving on Fox. Oh, but Alpha is also contested on the flank there. More clusters coming in. Is Charlie going to get capped? The smoke coming in onto Charlie.
Oh, wow.
Wow, they're flipping it. Oh my god, they're flipping the score.
Flipped in the last minute.
Are you kidding me?
Look at that.
Get out of here. What is that game?
Naysayers like me beware. This team does not play around.
Holy cow. So the Russian side wins 10-8 in the last 3 seconds of the game.
What a dominating end there for the Russians.
How did they make that work?
Oh, there was some friendly fire involved on C with the Taz there. I saw that.
The smoke onto C to make sure they got the cap, but like they also had to grab Delta and Alpha at the last second, and they did. Smoke getting Alpha was huge. Yeah, that's one of those where you like you lose that game and you're thinking back afterwards and like, how did that happen? How did we lose that?
Yeah, I think the Americans definitely panicked because they were probably strong pointing on C, not expecting them to make a push for A. And to be fair, the Americans did have a lot on A still protecting it. So I do not blame them for being in that mindset, but it was a concentrated push from Smoko. He had all the units he needed to make that work. So, I mean, just very well played.
Yeah. Smoko, those Terminators just doing work. A Terminator is only 190 points. That seems ridiculously low for the amount of armor that vehicle has. Relica not air abusing that game. Yeah. Pretty impressive. Wow. All those F-35s. Look at that. That's 1,000 points. That's 1,200 points right there. Pro Trees, 2 Sentinels, 2 F-35s. Oh boy. That hurts. That hurts big time. Patriot Pack 2 getting some drone kills.
Weapon squad killing an airborne squad.
Oh man, everybody's fired. Everybody's fired.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good game, honestly. I really didn't expect them to pull that back.
I think if you listen to the last 15 minutes of the game, I was like, oh man, the Russians are kind of screwed.
Yeah.
This game, the comeback mechanic, the scoring in this game does lead to some pretty exciting finishes when you've got good teams working well together.
Oh yeah, they really pulled their bootstraps up at the end there. The Russians, they coordinated very well. I think for the first half they weren't very coordinated at all.
Well, and so that's I'm gonna go back to the deck construction, right? And pairing soft with armor, right? Because then you end up short on helicopter and air points, and like when you're in the final couple minutes of the game, there's not time for you to get like lots of units out on the field. So like having helicopters you can call in, having aircraft you can call in, drop bombing runs, drop clusters, drop mavs, like that ends up being really, really critical. That's yeah, that was nuts. That was nuts. That was awesome. All right, let's see where we're at here. That was Bober has no sound. Okay. Well, Bober has sound now. That was a long time. Yeah. No, that was at the start here. Wow. That was really good. If US team had nuked A at the end there, they win. You know what? Probably, but again with the armor soft deck, you can either bring a nuke or other stuff. And so they clearly didn't have nukes available. Okay. Let me see. I'm sure there are a lot of people in the server right now, so I'm sure we're gonna see another match here. Yeah, the general strategy for this is like I feel like phase 1 and phase 2 are just set up for phase 3, unless you can just like totally steamroll the opponent early and end up getting a sudden death victory. All right, let's do some coordination here.
What's up?
I'm chatting with Mule, trying to figure out who he's got next. I will say, it's really nice not running the tournament and just getting to cast it. Major plus.
Yep.
Oh, Ben versus Relica. OTP versus Blade. Oh. Wow, they got the whole crew in here. Ben, is that like the Benji verse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah, that's who that is. Okay. Ben versus Relica. Does anyone have an opinion on who we want to see? OTP versus Blade?
I personally would love to cast Benji's game.
Benji's? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be problematic if he's also streaming to Twitch, which I'm sure he is.
Yeah. Oh, maybe not that. I don't think it worked last time.
So last time I basically streamed his stream. Mm-hmm. But it was annoying because there are ads and stuff like that. So we can stay on Relica and watch Ben from the reverse side. So let me
I will be right back. You're gonna have to pull me back up, or if you want to just give me perms to get in here really quick, but I'll be right back.
Yep, I gotcha. All right, we're gonna stick with Relica so we can watch Benji from a reverse view. What I might do for awareness is have Bober watch Benji's stream so he can provide us updates on what is happening on the opposite side. And Joel, I just want to say I appreciate you. Bro, work has been nuts. So yeah, we just got home to start this, and then because I'm doing this, after this is gonna be family time for a little bit. Has anyone played Co 3 since the patch? Still hard to enjoy. Wehrmacht is OP now? I'm shocked. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I struggled with Co and the balance stuff, because I know they're still working on it. Oh, Vera's still a joke. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right. So okay, all right. So Bober's going in. So for those of you who aren't tracking, Bober is also helping to ref here. Karasky, exactly right. Spend less time making videos, more time enjoying the game. That's where I kind of struggle with it right now. Yeah, Joel, especially compared to the variety that you see in Broken Arrow, it can be a little rough. The big thing is, like, Company of Heroes, I feel like, is more dynamic from like a gameplay perspective, right? The way, like, the units don't do anything on their own, so you have to micro the crap out of them. Like, the APM's a lot higher. The balance in Broken Arrow is okay. I think the data would show you that right now it's a little bit favoring the Russians, but at the highest levels, it goes either way. The big difference is there's so much more variety in Broken Arrow. You don't see, like, you know, Werble spam. And there aren't like unit abilities like you see in Company of Heroes. So it's much more, gameplay is much more consistent. It's about positioning, unit composition, and appropriate use of your units, you know, balancing engagements. And then the timing, the scoring and timing of Broken Arrow is very dynamic. I'm actually, Joel, I don't know how you feel. I'm really enjoying the 10-minute phases. I think that's a really nice change. It keeps the tempo of the game really, really high, which is kind of fun. Mule. At the very least, there's a lot more variety in Broken Arrow. A lot more variety. All right. And then, you know, we've gone over the rules we did in between the last game. What's the nice UMB. So is Farage still playing? So Farage, because he's doing dev stuff now, I didn't think he was allowed to play in tournaments. He certainly isn't playing Broken Arrow as much. All right, so we'll just, because we got a handful of people here. Yeah, he can't play a tournament. Exactly. Yep. All right, so we're gonna review the rules here. So these matchups, essentially the way it works is captains get chosen. They look at the pool of players, at least for this one, right? I think the actual tournament, Farage versus Dumai, nice dev tournament. So the way this works, at least for this, right? Captains are going to choose teammates going into the actual 3v3 tournament. Be pre-made teams. But what they're really doing here is they're testing out the rule set and the maps to make sure this makes sense and is engaging. Right. So I think the games have been pretty fun so far. I think 3v3 it's a little bit more dynamic than the 2v2s have been were last week. I think because there's a little bit more safety with a third player on the field. Right? The map sizes are the same as with 2v2. But these are, the other thing that's interesting, these are best of twos. So if you're familiar with professional football, European football, not or global football, not American football, and the idea of like a double leg game, that's kind of what it feels like. You got to keep track of your point score, and the team with the higher point total at the end of 2 games is the team that wins. So that almost came into play last game until the Russian side totally. All right, you're back. Are you just doing your referee responsibilities?
No, I actually wanted to go just give him a little handy under the table for that comeback because that was amazing play. I saw
that was really, really good.
Yeah, I was making sure everything went smooth too.
UMB. I played a little bit of American football, but I played mostly like, we'll call it global football. What everyone else calls football, we call soccer. I played that growing up. I was just going over the rules here, Bober, and I actually think like I like the format. I like the rules. You know, so the small maps with a couple of mediums, Chkalovsk Air Base and Snowcastle on medium. The resource settings I think make sense. Which they're basically the same with, you know, smaller requisition 10-minute phases. What do you think about the 10-minute phases versus 15?
I don't really have an opinion on them yet. I just watched my first game of 3v3 just now. I think for the smaller game modes, having the smaller time slots is probably better. But I think 3v3 might be pushing it a bit. There's enough like money in the economy of all the players combined to get a lot more units out, right? With having the third player there. So I think maybe having the 45-minute game compared to the 30-minute game might be a bit better just because it gives these players more time to spend their points. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. This is gonna be my second game of this I'm seeing. So last game it felt like there were not as many units as there could have been on the field, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And so that's a good point. And I think that's interesting that you feel that way about it. I really like the 10-minute phases because I feel like, hey, thank you, propaganda. Propagandolf, nice. I like the 10-minute phases because I feel like it keeps the pressure on throughout the game. Right? Like, I think when you get to 15 minutes, you end up with these lulls in the action when people are like, all right, I'm just going to wait for this thing and get set up. And I think with the 10-minute phases, there's just not time for that. You got to be driving constantly. And so I think it keeps the gameplay engaging, but you know, we will see. We've got a couple more of these matches lined up. The best of 2 is the most interesting thing about all of this. I think I like the best of 2. Oh my God, Relica's names here.
Yellow Squadron. Those are pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, oh my God, all these guys are like 2600 elo.
Yeah. The best of 2 format, I like that a lot personally.
Yeah. I think when you get into like the finals, I think you just make it a best of 3 because you would hate to go down on like leftover points. Especially, but yeah, for like a group phase, I like the best of 2.
Yeah. Part of the reason we implemented the best of 2s was because one of the biggest pieces of feedback we heard from the 2v2 tournament that we hosted was the rules were too complicated. And nobody really understood them, so it made getting into games a little bit harder. So that's why we knocked down to best of 2. As what we're gonna do for the finals and all that, I couldn't tell you. We're still gonna figure that out after we play these groups, I guess. But like I said, this is all just a trial run, a for fun gaming moment, if you will. So we're gonna have to see here how it plays out.
So far I like it. I think 3v3 now. Again, it'd be super cool if there was like an observer mode where we could go in and actually see what both sides are doing.
Oh, you're asking for too much, buddy.
I know. Actually, yeah, I had an idea. Do you have to have SF2? Yes, you do, based on the rules. So what I was going to suggest, if you wanted to go over and watch Benji's stream, and I'm streaming from Relica's point of view, so that we can actually see, like, you can tell us what the American side is up to or what you're seeing.
Yeah, the delays are going to be pretty mismatched, but I'll pull it up here.
Okay. Yeah, up to you. Oh, Ben's like, we haven't actually picked our decks yet. That's nice. This is, kind of being like a friendly tournament, right? There's a little bit of the pressure's off, which I appreciate. All right, yeah. Bober, I'm going to need you to hold it down for about 60 seconds while I go grab something from the fridge downstairs. I will be right back.
That is exactly what I was about to do, but you go ahead first.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look here. Hello, stream. Not really. I think the US side is just deliberating about what they want to play here still. We saw in the last game, Smoko and Relica both running this armor setup. VDV armor on Relica. That's exactly what he was running last game. Smoko, I think he was running VDV armor as well, or he might just be sticking with VDV Coastal. I didn't actually get a chance to see what spec he had. But VDV Coastal is definitely going to help him out here on Dead Center, because Dead Center is a very center map. There are the side lanes, not really important. All that matters is right down the middle. So all that infantry from Coastal is really going to help him out. Moto Mech from Aussie is going to be their clutch here. They're probably going to play him center. And, it looks like we're readying up. So we got the US BGs locked in. That's SOF Striker, Marine Striker, and Airborne Armor. So the US side is playing heavily into the infantry here with these decks. I think they realize what they need to do on Dead Center, as well as just control that middle with a bunch of infantry. And here we go into the game. Loading in here. I'm not exactly sure which team is going to be on which side.
Oh wow, I came back at the perfect time. We're loading into Dead Center.
We got very infantry heavy decks from both sides now for Dead Center, which is what you really need in the center.
Nice. I like it. Okay, so we've got Soft Striker for my One the Internet. That is smart because there's going to be a lot of air there, a lot of air available. Armor Airborne from Rudy Giuliani. And then
that's Husky.
Marine Striker, which that's like a classic, just like baseline maneuver. Yeah. Now they're playing Aussie out on the flank, it looks like, which I don't think they want to do. He has the better infantry deck between the three players, so I really think they should play him center, but I think they have their own strategy, and we're just gonna have to see how this goes here. They have the Tawses. I see one on Relica. I'm assuming Smoko has one as well, if not two. They're really going to need those to dominate the mid here. That's one of the strong points of Russia on this map, is just your cruiser spam and your Tawses make it impossible for American infantry to sit still in the middle. You have to breach, you have to deploy them, and then pull them out immediately, or they're just going to get indirected. Yeah. No, that's... Now, the helicopters on the flanks and the recce, like, this map is still so wide. Interested in seeing how the Americans deal with that. If they use the flanks to get around the force concentration the Russians can build in the center. But here we go. We're live. A little bit of an air tax coming in. A couple of Su-35s. Classic. Oh, an F-18C. It's got gunslingers on.
F-18C. They got an F-22 out on the American side. I can see on Benji's stream here as well. Still hiding in the back there, probably.
I like this. You leave the F-22 at high altitude. Oh, now is it low? So we can... Oh, the F-15C as well. Now we got some gunslingers coming in. The S-300s aren't set up yet. This is good because, like, in the 2v2 tournament, there was almost no air attacks at all. Right? It was just like that. There weren't enough points to go around. So it's fun to see this. Raptors getting a little aggressive. And
Yeah,
actually,
Raptor's getting in there.
SU-35 not going for it. Instead, going to focus on the F-18. Oh, the F-18 just got absolutely gangbanged. Did the F-15. And it looks
yeah,
like
they kind of just threw their planes in one by one there to die.
the SU-35, I think it might be the best air-to-air fighter in the game.
100%, yeah. See here. Looking at a pretty standard rollout here. The US prioritizing fast deploying of light-skinned vehicles, it seems here, rather than bringing up their own APCs. They have a Comanche covering the main road to F. I can see that on Benji's stream. Yeah, there you go. You see it on yours now too.
Yeah, K-17 smokes it off.
K-17s, yeah.
This is good. Everyone kind of being set up, and you see the push already on the flank for dark blue. Is that still Aussie out there?
Yeah, that is, yeah.
Yeah, and so again, like that's one of the biggest themes from this the 2v2s last weekend and these games is like the terrain, the territory points are not key terrain, or not necessarily key terrain. And so identifying where on the map you need to control is more important than having all the objective points, especially in the first 2 minutes of the phase, right?
The Americans are, like I said, fast deploying here. Russians going to take a bit of time to get up here, but if the Americans don't reinforce the sparse units they have up here, they're going to get rolled over pretty quick by those 2 infantry squads loaded up in those BTR-3Fs or whatever they're called. They're coming up there very slowly. BT-3Fs they're called, yeah. They get overwhelmed pretty quick here. The SSO's pushing onto F, trying to... He did force out that tow squad, but he's going to get lit up by the SMAWs now.
And someone set off the supply there, so everyone, all the infantry panicked. Oh, Relica's flipping his viewpoint around.
Yeah, Smoko hopping the SSO out of the building there, probably the best move.
Ozzy just took huge hits from some ballistic missiles. His units were really up far on the flank, but no anti-air to support it. That was big.
Yeah, those S-300s weren't up. Let's see here. So it looks like Smoko's going to be focusing on the center here, Aussie on the right, and then Relica's going to play in between them as best he can, I assume.
Yeah, and Smoko's in a good spot. I like that they're not overcommitting, trying to spread too far. I think dead center, like the trick to dead center is knowing when to spread out and when to concentrate. Oh, the B1.
100%.
Oh.
B1 with the cruisers from Smoko.
Oh, the Tu-22, I'm sorry. Wow, and actually, it gets knocked down. So really,
he got off some pretty good damage with that, though. I saw at least 2 infantry squads die before the ads hit.
Well, yeah, good placement on the air defense from the American team to get those hits off. And yeah, you see the kind of like defensive recon. Relica's going to put some more recon out in the woods here. Smoko getting aggressive with his Terminators.
Yeah. I think Smoko realizes he can get a little aggressive here just because he cleared out a lot of that infantry with the Tu-22. They see a sniper there on the flank, kind of.
Well, Azilagath actually did a really good job reestablishing Reki on his right-hand side. We're kind of looking backwards now at the map. Yeah, they spot the Ranger snipers. Coalitia is coming in from Relica. So I guess he's just sad he doesn't have access to all the air spam as the Russian side. Yeah, his air micro has been really interesting. Like leaving.
I think Tubardi. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, finish your point.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Tubardi is very essential on this map just for sniping the supply dumps behind buildings. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah.
Let's see here. He's going to get this tank. It's going to back up into its own smoke. Those are oh, no, they get intercepted.
Su-57 getting chased away. Takes a hit, but it looks like it's going to escape. Man, it's so hard to tell when he's got it flipped around. The camera flipped around. I know it helps him micro the airplanes, but it's so hard to tell what they're shooting at. Wow, look at that. The Russian side here, good territory control. Still 3 minutes left in phase
Viper 1. Coming in from the Americans with 16 Stormbreakers on it. I want to see what Ben's going to do with this. What's he targeting?
What? 16?
Yeah, 16 Stormbreakers. He's probably looking for air defense, if anything. Oh, no, he's going to bombing run a tank with them.
He tried to get the Terminator.
He whiffed so hard. That's unfortunate. He lost vision on his original target right as the bombs dropped.
Oh, man. Stormbreakers, they're good against light-skinned vehicles, especially because they come in packs, but man, against the armor on the Terminator is so strong as it goes down to a SHORAD Hellfire.
Really aggressive snipers from Aussie here. They're giving them a lot of vision.
Yeah, that's why this map can be a struggle to play sometimes, because it is so wide. But I love this. So the Booker spots the BMP, but obviously not the snipers. Koalicja has some guided rounds coming in. I wonder if that's going to hit. Wow, half damage on the first shot. Oh yeah, one more hit, and he doesn't realize. Wow. Good.
Oh, double kill there.
Yeah, there was something else in there. I got knocked out. I think
it was the sniper.
Oh yeah, you're right. Nice team play on that. Yeah, air attacks.
HE Grad. Wow, I don't see those often.
The Grad is for smoke, and if you're using it for anything else, you're wrong.
It's okay. Mule's not watching. He can't hear you. You can give me your real opinion.
Oh, just broken arrow memes. Don't worry about it. Oh man,
double SMOD loading up into that building, gonna wipe out that Spetsnaz if it doesn't get out.
And F-15EX cruise missiles coming in. I was gonna say air attacks. I think you're right. Stormbreakers that are laser guided in groups are really, really nice, but without the laser guide, they just kind of hit in a general area. Especially, you saw he basically did the bombing run with that to get all 16 off at the same time. I can't imagine clicking 16 precision strikes. Oh, I can't believe.
Yeah.
There goes the AMPV. I was going to say, I can't believe the AMPV just ate that TU-80 shot.
That Ka-29 is going to put him some work here. That is the best rocket pod delivery system in the game, in my opinion, the Ka-29. It can carry supplies and troops and everything you need.
It's so cheap for what it does.
Yeah.
Oh, steel ball Leica, please fix.
The Americans don't really have a lot of anti-helicopter up here at the front from what I can see.
Just that one
SHORAD. They're probably going to be calling up a SHORAD. Yeah. Oh, they do have that one SHORAD. Yeah, I didn't see that.
It's just getting pushed back by the T-80s, right? And that's what you'd expect. Oh, more Koalicja barrages coming in. This wrecking network. Oh my god, the Tu-22 cruise missiles are so fast.
Yeah, they are. The Americans have identified to their left, so Relica's right, where Aussie has all sniper. They are pinging that up, and they realize that they might have recon in there.
Okay. All right, phase 1. See, this is why, phase 1 is not about score. Phase 1 is about positioning. And that's why I'm worried about Aussie. He's got all these snipers, but he hasn't moved them. And now he could lose his entire recon network on the flank.
Yeah, they're kind of getting enveloped there. Seems that the Americans are kind of calling that the center isn't working and they need to make a push for the flanks, it seems, just based off the movement of their units here.
They actually had a nice push right at the end of the phase. They grabbed Fox and they got 2 objective points from it. Only 2 points, but it does put them in a good spot from a positioning perspective. I don't know what airplane that was, but it did not live long. It just streaked past like a meteor.
Single RRC on J getting sent to Valhalla.
Oh no. More seed coming in from an F-35. It gets one shot by an S-300. That's not a good trade. And the pilot. You know what? The pilot adding 150 free points, I think is something that probably needs to be addressed. I like the down pilot mechanic. Yeah, air attacks. First 25 minutes are all about positioning. I like the down pilot mechanic, but like adding 150 points to whatever airplane you just lost that you're most likely just going to hand back to the enemy seems like is like the mechanic is not working as intended at that point.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there. I don't think destroying the pilot should inherently give you points. I think the value from destroying the pilot should be denying them the 150 they can get by retrieving it.
Yes.
Yeah,
that would I would like that. That would be a cool little counterplay. I don't know, maybe it encourages you to keep your airplanes over your own lines as well, so they're actually salvageable. Looks like a nice little push headed towards Juliet. Right, double push in the center here from the Americans. Echo towards Hotel. Smoko's in good position with his Terminators. The Terminator is so nice because, you know, if you kill a troop transport and then the infantry pop out of it, they can immediately handle them.
American HIMARS getting ready to fire on that little tree line behind F, but they're just blind firing. They don't know if anything's actually in there or not.
There's that one super aggressive Spetsnaz squad. I think he probably needs to move them as well, just if for no other reason than to get intel. Oh, the clusters. Yeah, they're not really hitting anything at the current moment. Smoko doing a great job kind of holding the position in front of Hotel.
He's fighting for dear life right now.
Yeah. Those, man, the airborne, like, screw their spear weapon system. The Carl Gustav makes them one of the better units in the game at just holding terrain against, you know, the big Russian armored pushes.
Yeah. Immobilized little T-80, T-72, whatever that is, behind F. That's going to get swept up pretty quickly, I assume.
Ballistic missiles going up. Sam's going out to reach him. That is super cool that they modeled all of that. That's a win. Yeah. That's a win for the dev studio right there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, Smoko, he lost a couple of units, but he blunted that push, at least in front of Hotel. The U.S. side doing a good job getting infantry in these buildings. I wonder what, really, I think this is going to come to, oh, that Global Hawk's done. Azilagath, he learned his lesson. He's got a Book set up on the flank now to help cover his guys. But I think he needs to get a little bit more aggressive on the flank here and let his teammates push through the center.
Yeah, what you're not seeing from your POV are the movements that they're making towards J, and they're looks like they're getting ready to set up and prod here. I think that's Husky, Rudy Giuliani on the J flank.
Okay. But it's still early in the phase to make that push, right? So we're probably looking at another couple of minutes of build up.
Seed coming out from the Americans here to try to shut down some of that AA net they have.
That MiG in the back has taken a couple of hits.
Oh,
God, those ballistic missile strikes. Is the Russian air defense network just down?
I think it might be.
Oh, toss coming into the wood line. We saw one kill there.
Yeah, that toss was huge on the American vehicles. If you couldn't see it, but they were all sitting there getting ready to have supplies dropped on them and almost killed both of the shore eyes. They're all like basically out of the fight for the next like 2-3 minutes.
Oh, Small is in the building, immediately panicked by the Sherman VK, and they're gonna bounce and probably get caught in the open. Oh, they got into that AAP, nice, but the AAP gets crushed by the T-80, and now the Small is just stuck panicked in the open. Oh, F-16 traded out for an Orion. That's not what you want. Oh, but a Tor went down too.
Yeah, it had the hard missiles. That is actually kind of worth that. Benji dropping troopers right in front of that T-90 that took out the SMAWs. I think those are going to get wiped as well, though. Yeah,
the troopers, you know, they're good because they have the AT-4 on top of the Javelin, but you don't want to be like, they're just outnumbered and in tight. That's that's rough. That's a short life expectancy right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what is it? M1A1 HC T-80 finds it, but more troopers in that building. using up the T-80's active protection. Wow, actually, it may go down here.
Viper coming in with more Stormbreakers here for this push of Russian armor going towards E.
Oh, something
He's
just
gonna get him off too.
something just nuked that T-80. Where's the
Yeah, that was the F-16.
Okay.
The Stormbreakers, yeah. Malka's sighted out, gonna get flanked by the killer eggs. Let's see if they can
No, the killer eggs just got roasted by a Tor.
Yeah. Sitting on top of a Derevitsai on a Tor. Not gonna do much for him there.
Oh wow.
Two Bookers are aggressively pushing towards them as well. Oh no, they see the alligator and they're backing up now.
Yeah, say that's a nice push because he's past Juliet.
Yeah.
That positioning is fantastic. Oh, alligator gets knocked out by the is that the lab Shorad? That hurts. Alligator's expensive.
Yeah. I'm not seeing. Have you seen any smoke producing units like mortars from the Russians?
From the Russians, no. You obviously see the line of smoke coming in by Fox for the Americans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like having something like that on dead center especially is just really useful. Here come those cruise missiles from Tu-22. All of them are going to get intercepted.
Oh, Shorad hunted down by a T-90. Yeah, I think like
Tu-22 got shot down as well.
And the EX gets knocked out by the S-300. That's a huge point swing as well.
We're looking for this big push coming to J here. I don't have good vision on it. You probably have better vision on it. I saw 2 BMPs in the T-90.
Yeah, that's all there is. So that's enough to threaten for sure, but not a huge push.
Well, it was enough to force them off. They only had the 2 Bookers over there and 1 HP sniper, so that was enough to take the point back, and they're really going to need that here if they want to start clawing this back. But I'm not going to be a naysayer just yet, considering last game they won in the last minute.
Yeah. The question is, are there many long-range ATGMs in mid? Is smoke really needed? It's not just about it helps with the weapons teams, but it's not just about the weapons teams, because smoke also breaks up the sight lines, which helps prevent you from getting your armored vehicle shot in like the side and the rear armor from even the handheld AT. And it helps you if you are attacking. You generally want your engagements at close range, not long range, and you're defending, you want them at long range. So throwing down a smoke screen is almost always worth it because it allows you to shape the engagement range to where you want it, which is, you've seen it like at this level, getting your engagements right is 90% of the game. Oh, those troopers, they were doing good, and then a Comanche Hellfire comes in.
Yeah.
More Pehi hopping.
Another Viper coming in.
Oh,
those more Stormbreakers. Where's he going to drop those? Probably on that T-90 on F.
Yeah. Does he have anything to laser Des for it?
The Viper laser Des itself. It has it built in.
So
you can, yeah, there we go.
That's a dead T-90.
Yeah.
More Pehi got deleted by Airborne. This is a vicious fight here in center. 30 seconds left in the phase. And like no decisive advantage in destruction score, but bloody as hell. I say that.
Yeah, that Abrams on F needs to stay alive if they want to prevent it from being capped over. He's going to back it out. I think they're going to get the cap. Oh, and a cluster coming in onto the Americans there.
So it prevented the cap of Fox, but the American team going to have now suddenly a significant advantage in KD going to the end of phase 2. So 6 points. You can deal with a 6-point deficit. It's more about positioning. Oh man, those RRC are all the way up on the flank there in Juliet. They get knocked out, but I think Ozzy losing his advanced flank recce position is a bigger problem than anything else that has happened in the center.
Yeah, the Americans were able to recognize that really fast after that Booker got laser RG'd. I'm pretty sure they immediately knew that they were very close, too close for comfort, one might say.
Now, we haven't seen anything on the India Hotel axis, and I wonder if the Americans are dug in there as well.
Take a little look-see here. As soon as Benji takes a little look-see, I guess I'll get back to you on that. 3 to 5 business days, please, good sir. They are not. They have 3 units over there.
So everyone's just agreed that we're only playing center and right side.
I guess so. They have a Cav Scout and a regular sniper there, and that is it.
Yeah, but if you're gonna make a move for it, now is the time to do it. Just because with the movement speed. If you wait much longer, yeah.
The Russians don't really have a lot on the front there. All of their stuff is coming up from base. That last push they made for F really knocked out a lot of their stuff.
Yeah, and I love this smoke coming in because now any Russians advancing, like what you don't want to do is have to cross through that smoke. And now clusters coming in on the backside. Fantastic layering of artillery. Yeah, Ozzy's like, yep, I'm going to have to go around the flank here. Oh, man, the Americans completely hold the center now at this point. Yeah.
The Americans, I've noticed, have been being a lot better also about pulling back their damage units for healing than the Russians, but given I haven't been watching the Russians primarily here.
I think the Russian team has tried, but they've taken quite a few hits in the process. All right, SU-30
push for J starting here.
Oh, SU-34. Wow, what was that? Something hit those tanks. It's hard for me to tell what the actual weapon was that was shot.
Yeah, I don't have a good read on that for you. Took out a Booker and one of the Abrams pushing for J. Might have shut it down for now, but we have more Bradleys and Strikers advancing on the position as well.
Man, the American aircraft have been getting schwacked by all this Russian anti-air. Oh, here's big push in here on Fox, but there are 3 different colors of American players in and around Foxtrot. So that is that's not looking great.
Yeah, they have most of their stuff concentrated on F. They really don't want to lose this right now. The Ognamichi gonna get shredded by the Booker in the forest line right behind F. I don't think the Russians realized it was there until it started shooting at the Ognamichi.
Yeah, I'm shocked that the Russians are up on KD this phase. It has felt like their units have just been getting bludgeoned.
All those tasty planes definitely helped.
Alligator
Or SAR swarm coming on the left here for the Americans. Aussies right.
Oh yeah. Oh, the SHORAD's there, but it's 2 hits per to knock down those drones.
And they're done.
Yeah,
they're done. They're out of here.
Yep.
Double trooper stack in those buildings beside F. I don't like doing that with the troopers personally, just because I feel like they're an infantry squad. I use them more like a weapon team because of their jabs.
Wow, the ballistic missile strikes too just knocked out a B-15. Yeah, you can tell the Russian team's like trying to get set up for a big push, but the US players are making them work for it.
As long as I can harry them as they're building up and just hit them every now and again, keep the pressure on, I don't think the push is going to work out too well.
Yeah, the other thing that's deceptive is you look like in the middle here and you're like, oh, there are all these buildings and like lines of trees, but those lines of trees themselves are not sight blockers. So you see like the striker shooting through the trees to hit the OSA, like line of sight is a lot more open than you would think. All right, cruise missile, a couple of cruise missiles coming in from F-15EX. ZMA Jakku, I will go over the rules again after this game. We have 5 minutes left in this phase. Oh yeah, so RRC and engineering kind of fighting over Juliet. Looks like the American, yeah, they're trying to dig in here. The combination of the Cav rifles and the airborne presents like a decent threat to vehicles, and you see like Relic is trying to deal with it by stacking his tanks behind buildings to break line of sight. Oh no, here they come onto Juliet again, and Ozzy's been almost complete
off.
Yeah, Ozzy's been rolled up. That's not good. That Book goes down.
Obsidian Age, half health striker, a Booker, 3 RRCs, one of which is 1 HP and just got killed on J. So It shouldn't be too hard to push off if they can identify what they actually have over there.
Yeah, the problem is that when you don't have Reki and you have to attack blind, you're almost always at a disadvantage from an engagement range perspective.
100%, yeah.
Toss shots coming in on these infantry while airborne taking
absolutely
a ton of casualties.
Annihilating those troopers, and fucking Smalls didn't take much damage.
Oh, F-15. Man, so much air coming in. That'll be another... Wow, the F-15 still... Is it going to get away? We got resupply issues now on the Russian side. They're making a concerted push here. Looks like they're going to try to go for F. T-80 getting smashed by clusters. So you've got these airborne assault squads. The DISH stands for Desantniki Shturmoviki. So airborne assault. And they're trying to move forward, but they are just taking so much fire, just trying to approach. Yeah. Wow, that's a ton. And now
this is a mega push here coming down mid from the Russians.
Crazy strike.
These squads are getting picked off one by one.
Yep. And did you see the F-16 strike there on the artillery on the back line?
That was huge.
Yeah. Now everything is in the Americans' favor. Objective points, KD's almost at 2 objective point advantage.
These SMAs sitting in that building there between Echo and Foxtrot are really going to start laying into these squads, these Russian squads, as they get into the buildings here. Let some of the smoke and all that debris clear, and they'll start opening up, I believe.
Yeah, so that takes back one of the cap points from the Americans by owning Fox, but 2 minutes 20 seconds left. Oh man, this is just looking rough for the Russian side. They need to take terrain, and they need to do it without losing many more units, and that's just not how these games typically work out. Oh, the huge ballistic missile strikes onto Fox. The Russian air defense is not fully supplied. You can feel the pain.
I saw T-14 slinking its way over to J. I think they're going to try to play for that point.
Yeah, supported with a little bit of infantry, but T-14 is a pretty powerful unit, but you don't want to solo it in here.
100%. I'm not sure if these RSCs are on the CQC designation or not, so I don't. Yeah, they're running scared. I don't think they have any handheld AT to deal with that T-14. I'm not seeing much in terms of anti-tank other than a Super Cobra coming up. Might try to get a shot or two off onto that T-14.
Oh, the killer egg spam on the flank, not trading all that well with the Mi-28s.
T-14 is panicked. Gonna lower its attack speed here. Cobra's very close up. Gonna start getting shot at by anti-helicopter.
All right. Yep. So you called it Armada successful in clearing out Juliet, but
yeah,
look
but
at
they
this.
lost Foxtrot in the center.
Oh my gosh! And look, the KD almost 2-1 right now in favor of the U.S. side.
Yeah, this was just total domination by Benji's team this game.
Just the positioning, having having units forward around Juliet just totally blunted everything the Russians wanted to do in the middle there.
Yeah, blowing holes in their composition as well, getting rid of the air net. It was really helping them out here, like able to get on these planes really close for these strikes.
Wow.
Get off the ballistic missiles. Yeah, they're calling GG. There we go.
Yeah, that's going to end up being total domination for the US side in this game. Absolutely nuts. So people ask, like I've been asked a lot of time, many times today, is the game balanced? What's the balance between Russia and US? And I'd say, an auto match, the win rate for the Russians is much higher, but at the highest level here, you see US is still extremely viable.
100%, yeah.
All right. Wow.
It's gonna wrap that one up.
Yeah.
Exciting match. We saw some very valiant attempts at comebacks here, but
oh my God,
it was for naught.
Do you see this on Relica's stream? And one S300, he just scrolled away. One S300 killed like 1,500 points worth of aircraft.
Yeah, Relica's S300 was the only one for the Russians. I'm surprised those Tu-22s were getting shot down.
Yeah, that's wild. thank you, Max. Max, I thought I did. I updated it now.
I am gonna go grab my drink now. It's my fridge break. I'll be right back.
Do it, brother. Wow, that was nuts. All right, we are gonna reset here. Going into game 2. These are best of 2s. ZMA Airtax, I appreciate you answering him. Essentially rules 3v, like he said, 3v3. Every specialization must be present. Only one spec ops for US, only one coastal for Russia. Then 10-minute phases, and the requisition point reward at the end of each phase reduced to 50 per objective point. ZMA, interested in why you think the rules favor the US? And then interested if anyone else in chat here thinks that the rules favor one side or the other. All right, I'm going to take a pause here. I will be right back. All right. Okay. A lot of Russia's strength comes from overwhelming spam, which complements each other when you have multiple teammates working together. Yeah, although I think at this level, you see players are better able to deal with like not the cruise missile, like the BMP, BTR spam. Russia thrives on cruise missiles. Yeah, the Tu-22 cruise missiles in particular are really hard to manage. I know Mule was worried about that, which is one of the reasons that coastals were limited to one. Yeah, I think Spec Ops, the Sentinel is good, but it is 200 points. So once it's spotted, it's not, doesn't live very long, and you can feed some value to the enemy. But yeah, the F-35s, because basically the most you can have is 4 with the way the rules are set up. They are really difficult. Sometimes you can shoot them down, but they will almost always actually get their weapons off, which is one of the reasons I think Mule was reducing the availability of those units. But you know, it's interesting. I like the idea of you have to play every spec, because even that limits you a little bit. You basically double up on one, is how that works. Sentinels, yeah, I think like players at this level are pretty good about spotting Sentinels. Yeah, although it's it's interesting if you look at the data in auto match, just how man, I don't think at 1600 plus, I think the only specialization combo that has better than 50% win rate for the US is armor soft, and it's just barely there. I have a video that I'm going to talk about this here shortly, but I think Postal has a bunch of things working in its favor. It's not just the Tu-22s. It's a lot of the transports, and a lot of the infantry are pretty powerful. So I think some of the pricing is issue, but like, again, we're just showing here, like, you can counter a lot of this stuff. Coming from an armor soft OTP, old time pro.
One trick pony.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I didn't even think about that. Relic's team almost tricked Ben's team to play on Kaliningrad. That's funny.
Do you where are you talking to this guy? Are you streaming on YouTube as well?
Yes, I'm live on YouTube and on Twitch. Yeah.
Okay, cool. 2
monitors for the win. Yeah, so in Dimitri, I would agree with you if in 2v2 the map was much more sparsely populated. In 3v3, because they're small maps, you're still seeing quite, like, the map's pretty tight. Even dead center, where the nice wide flanks. A lot of the units, one, lots of units, and 2, units really concentrated in the center. I think, yeah, it's one of those things. You see a lot of like sniper teams out on the flank. Man, look at the decks. These guys up here at 2600 elo, like Relic has got like 30,000 decks to choose from. Cracks me up. Bobra, what's the issue with Kaliningrad? Educate me.
Boring arty camp fest. You're just shooting across the river at each other with arties until phase 3 when someone makes some big ooga booga push they've been saving up the whole game for.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I think fast air, if you spot it, you don't have to kill it with the anti-air, but if you once you can spot it and break its stealth, then it's very, very easy to kill. And so having an Su-35 up in the back line is probably the best way to deal with it. The biggest issue that you're going to have is, even in 3v3, like having the points and the attention to just have someone running that on the back line constantly is a little bit harder than a 5v5. So yeah, so I guess I'm talking myself into a Sentinel being pretty valuable. So congrats, Dmitry Stronikov. Yeah, as soon as it's spotted, it's probably shot down. But if you micro it well and keep it, out of the way, a lot of value there. Man, I love this. I love all these decks. Relica, thank you for streaming. I hope you get your I hope you get your Navy spec with the F-14. An F-14 with Phoenixes.
Uh-oh, Shark.
What's that?
All right, I'm gonna have to send you my PayPal information.
Oh
This
no.
is cutting into very important time. If you'd please look at your DMs, my attention is needed elsewhere very soon.
What is this? Oh my god.
I won't say a channel name, but it's a joke we have running. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
She's one of those streamers.
Oh. Yeah, if I wanted to make money on YouTube, I would not be doing Broken Arrow videos. Yeah, so ZMA, and if I shouldn't refer to you as ZMA, I'm sorry. That's just, let me know in the chat. The Marine deck is very well rounded, right? You get Abrams with some APS, you get good SHORAD, you get a decent air allocation, and you get pretty hardy infantry. Okay,
Marine striker, sorry,
just Marine in general. The Marine spec is a good, well-rounded deck.
I'd say so, yeah.
The Cav deck is similar. It has a little bit more in terms of air, a little bit less in terms of armor, and very, very bad infantry. So yeah, like Marine Cav is a pretty strong, well-rounded maneuver deck. I'd go as far as to saying that, like, in the game design, if you wanted to have decks that were better for like beginners because they're well-rounded, that would be Marine Striker, a Marine and Striker on the US side, and probably Mechanized and Coastal on the Russian side. And then the other specs lean even harder into certain capabilities that make them good in certain use cases, but not as good in others. Oh, so you shift path the Sentinels. Nice. Yeah, the way that you communicate movement to aircraft in this game is a little bit, I wish there was a little bit easier, a little bit more intuitive. Like if you could like rotate your camera to be directly overhead of the aircraft, so you could, I don't know. That would be a cool feature to add. I should take notes. Like some
or even
of, like,
if they visualize for you like the loiter circle, like where exactly it's going to loiter, if like a circle whenever you click would be nice.
Mm-hmm. Or like, what's the behavior? If I click on this point, does that mean you go to that point and then begin to loiter, or does that mean that's the center of your loiter? Like, and because I can't modify the camera enough to really tell, like I would put that in like a video, but I can't get the view that I need to really see. Marine Airborne being played more and more. It's interesting. I think probably because it increases your air allocation. You get Sheridans, which are really good at dealing with the BMP spam, and you get the Airborne, which are with their Gustavs, are really good at holding Russian like light and medium vehicles at range. So now I just talked myself into building a Marine air deck after this. You press F8, it goes straight down. All right, I will check that. I obviously can't do it now, but thank you for that, Assassin. Yeah, Marine Airborne. I had a Marine soft deck that I called Marines Are Special. And I had like 6 Harriers just loaded up with AMRAMs, and it's toxic but effective. Armored Cav is the goat. Anything else is heresy. Armored Cav is tough. You're missing a lot of it's a lot of armor, like maneuver firepower, but you're missing a lot of support. Wow, I'm not a Canadian. Thank you for all of the gifted subs. I appreciate you.
Based.
Yeah. Wow.
Based. The third one coming in. What a G.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I play a lot of soft striker. I try to play on flanks, and I play a lot of like forests. Oh my goodness. Canadians just gifting crazy subs. Thank you. I don't know what I did to deserve your support, but I appreciate it.
Going into the second game here now, they're loading in.
Looking at this very scary sniper in the wood line. That's my loading screen.
That was mine as well. I saw that.
All right.
I got more ads on Benji's stream. Thank you, Benji. Very cool.
That is why, because like last time with the 2v2 tournament, I had his stream up because he streams in, I want to say he streams in 1440 or 4K. It's like really, really nice. But yeah, the ads every 10 minutes were driving me crazy. Maybe I think this XVOD Ninja thing is really, really nice, but we'll see.
Kind of goated.
I see Relica adjusting his settings because he's like, oh, rehost bug deck.
Yeah, gonna go for a rehost here. That sucks.
Thank you, Canadian. I appreciate that. Yeah, I apologize if you guys are seeing ads. I try to tell Twitch and YouTube to not roll mid rolls, and I think it ignores me because people have complained. But thank you. All right, while we're waiting for this to load back up, Dimitri says I have 2 points for Armored Cav. Striker RV Javelin Trophy. Yes, it is very strong. And no helis, a cancer that should not exist on either blue or red team ever.
I like this guy. I think we should put this guy on the dev team.
Helicopters. Man, it's so funny. It's like, it's one of those classic things where like, enemies helicopters dodge every stinger, never die, absorb 12 hits. My helicopters get sneezed at and immediately fall out of the sky.
The Riki luck is strong on red team.
Yeah, red team OP. Oh, that's so funny. All right, back up here. All right, so while they're loading in Marine Air, a whole Relica, the the incoming air support. Oh, losing 2 helicopters, 1 Russian missile. Feels bad, man. All right, so VDV mechanized, coastal motorized, guards VDV. Interesting. Guards VDV is a classic combination.
Yeah, you gotta have it on every Russian team. You're running at least one.
Yeah. But you know, we haven't seen crazy barbarous spam. I think they've finally kind of figured out the pricing for the barbarous. Because it's still really powerful and it can be annoying to deal with, but you just don't see them as much anymore. What drives me crazy as a US player are all the like K-17s and B-15s with 1 million APS charges.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get this started. My wife.
You got the high Mars?
Yeah, I got the high Mars too. My wife is hungry, so we're in the final round here. The best of 2. Playing this one.
I don't care if you go buy something or you cook something, it's going in the food porn channel or we're gonna have problems.
All right, I will take a photo for the food porn channel just for you.
Thank you.
I should have done my lamb from Thursday night. Oh god, it was so good. All right.
All right, you gotta stop talking about it. It pissed me off, bro. Made lamb and didn't show the fat guy. That's kind of crazy.
Oh. 3 F-18Cs and 4 Strike Eagles. Relica, you're actually toxic. Did you see that in his deck?
Yeah. The Russians are calling out a really heavy air attacks I can see from Benji's stream here. So if they can't match that at the start, it might cause issues for them. 3 Su-35Ss coming out at minimum, I saw.
Wow, yeah, best air-to-air interceptor in the game.
Got a Su-57 and Su-30 SM coming out as well for the Russians.
That's a lot.
Has the US called any planes?
An F-18C that I've seen. You got a couple of Sheridans coming out.
Shut the fuck down. Yeah. There's no way that thing is living. It's gonna get run down like a dog.
Oh my god, it's just one. It's just one. Oh no, there's a second bird in the air. We will see. That F-18, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go see if I can find enemy aircraft. It's about to learn. There it is. There's Su-30. I love this. Throw the Su-30 out in front. Oh my god. Look at that. Like it almost crashed the game. There were so missiles that came in after that F-18.
That F-18's dead as hell. No way it jinxed all of these. No shot.
Wow.
It got a single one.
It got away from all of them and now it's coming back around to throw some AMRAAMs in.
Back in.
Is that Viper has stingers too? Viper goes down.
Oh wow. F8 is that Top Gun? Is that the Top Gun?
That's actually Maverick flying that F-18. Oh, it's dead. Never mind. A weapon squad. I like this. Super advanced placement. Yeah, that's the RNG. That's the for those Reekley luck. For those of you guys who watched that video, notice that the maneuver didn't do anything. It was ECM and flares. I stand by my claim that maneuver does nothing to help missiles miss. All right, we see another F-18 coming in, just trying to make sure the skies are clear. This map, so as we're watching these vehicles come out, really, really long travel times out to the primary points here. So I think you got to worry about getting, like, you can outrun missiles, yes. Especially some of the slower ones. The AMRAAM and the R77 are like 4,000 meters per second, but the others are like 2,400. So you're not technically outrunning them. You just kind of like run long enough that they can't catch you. But yeah, I think the the culmination portion of the game is going to have to start a little bit sooner, right? Like you can't bring unit like at the 8-minute mark. If you have units that you need to come in, you need to bring them in then.
Yeah, exactly. Even though the Russians called out a lot of air, they're still getting a pretty formidable force up here on the front just from using all the wheeled transports instead of the tracked ones. Tracked ones are going to be significantly slower.
Yeah, big shout out to Karaski for publishing unit movement speeds in his videos, like a true sicko.
Give me the sword, I'll get rid of him.
He's a test video savant.
This Emiliano guy in your chat that's bought.
Oh. Yeah. Snake Attack 5. Oh, I see what you're saying. Emiliano, if you are real, say something. Otherwise, you are being sent away.
No, those are all scams. It's just artists trying to either view bot advertisement or artist advertisement.
Oh, boo. Oh. Well,
this Huey might get shot down before. Oh no, it hits the building. Reekley luck once again, dude.
Mule's got.
Sheridan's gonna destroy that Typhoon. The U.S. has a very solid hold on A here for now. It looks like.
Yeah, the Sheridans, they are very underrated units. The trick is to not get the Shalala missiles with them. Oh, I did something with my chat. Now I can't see the Twitch chat. There we go. Yeah, Canadian, I think you're right. I think Bober is right. He's a bot user. Fantastic.
Yeah. I got those guys all the time in my stream too.
There we go. Got it.
Nice.
Taken care of. All right, we're back. I can finally pay attention again. So this is the other nice thing about following the player angle is I don't have to like work the camera. But again, the downside is you only see one side. You only see like a limited aspect. So for those of you who have seen me playing or casting in Co, that's what I'd like to be able to do with this game. Oh, Sheridan found a Tunguska.
Yeah.
Wow, look at it one shot. That's beautiful. Tu-22 cruise missiles coming in. And oh, that's a dead weapon squad.
Sheridan's still on the prowl here, moving up behind A. Benji doesn't really have a lot of anti-tank up here.
Yeah, you don't need heavy anti-tank to deal with the Sheridan, but the nice thing about it is you hit a troop transport and then you can follow it up with HE on the troops. Like that's why it's so good against BMP spam. It's super cheap and it trades really effectively against the lighter armored vehicles.
Yeah. I'm surprised the US isn't putting more pressure on here, considering that they knew they went with a heavy air open. They're not going to have a lot out on the field to help stop any type of push, really.
Thank you for bringing that up. That is a point that I meant to make earlier. So air units, they only have half the upkeep, as opposed to other like ground-based units, which is why the air attacks can be so profitable, because you're not really hurting your resource income in that first phase. Oh man, the Diversanti ambushers, that is bad for the Sheridan. Yeah, Canadian, you're exactly right. But to your point, this map is so big and it takes so long to get ground units out that decision makes sense from an economic perspective, but not necessarily from a tactical perspective. Oh, what is this Strike Eagle going to do? I see 6 500-pound laser guided bombs. Is he going to try to kill the alligator with the laser guided bombs and self-des? He is. All right, Relica, can we make this work? Can we make this work? Bombs away, alligator gone. All right, that's it, everyone. That is how you need to kill. You can deal with a K-52. You just need a Strike Eagle with 500 pounders. No big deal. Yeah, Mule, exactly right. And then fast air holding Delta. It's such a bottleneck area if you put your defense. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you can throw a lot of team weapons in there. All these buildings, all these different site blockers. This is a map well suited to high maneuver gameplay, especially like Bober, you pointed out, the wheeled vehicles are so nice. Just because you move around so quickly. We need to clip that Strike Eagle shot onto the K-52. That is how you smoke a helicopter in this game. And over here, Ozzy, I think this lane for Ozzy is a little bit better suited to his play style, right? Just being able to like lock up everything. Although that open field in between just south of India is super frustrating to deal with. More cruisers coming in. Oh, another dead weapon squad. Supply depot knocked out. Nice shots with the cruise missiles. Oh, the Desanti knock out one Sheridan. Oh, where did it? The second Sheridan got annihilated. I didn't even see from where. At least it's only like 65 points. All right. Oh, now we've got Armor Soft over here. Delta in AMPVs. Is that Smoko playing Armor Soft?
It is, yeah.
Wow. I remember the joke that Zulu used to make at the start was like, all right, so which Armor Soft player am I supporting this game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. The Delta guy is just cleaning those Desanti out of the building so fast.
Yeah. Those VDV DSH squads definitely have their strength in numbers, which they do not have right now. They're going to get shredded by that Delta.
I think they're like 5-man squads, right? So they bring a lot of firepower, but they don't have a ton. Oh, you're trying to post a link. Give me 1 second.
That's the clip you wanted.
Thank you, sir.
Of the K-52, yeah. Deputize me. Give me the sword.
I'm trying. Warn timeout. Where's my action to add as a moderator?
Just type /mod my name. Looks like the Americans are trying to prod onto D right now. Thank you. They're trying to prod onto D. They have a Moz and an RRC pushing up together. Gonna threaten the lone T-72. Oh no, he has a buddy coming up. Actually, 2 T-72s. One of them is pretty banged up. They're gonna have to back out.
Fast air. Yeah, you can't resupply those flashbangs. They take a lot of pouches. Well, at least though, the Russians capping back Alpha prevented, took it from 2 or 3 points down to 2. Oh, the Ognjemyochiki. Man, those flame rockets they fire are just disgusting.
They are, yeah. Hellfire's on that Shorad from Smoko. Gonna fuck up that T-72.
I love throwing the Hellfires on the Striker shore. It gives us some multi-roll, and the Hellfires do more damage to helis than the Stingers do. ZMA, can you explain? Because I see a lot of the NGSW also include the Carl Gustav, so I see a lot of the play in the 2v2 tournament. We saw a lot of that. Oh, the cluster cruise does a lot of damage that Abrams doesn't kill it.
Yeah, it failed to go off on the Su-57. The Su-57 cruisers didn't go off there.
Oh man.
Yeah, he tried to strike too late.
Meanwhile, the Sheridan shot down a pilot that was parachuting. God, that'd be terrifying to be in an ejector seat. Then you see a tank raise its main gun at you.
Yeah.
Oh, the FEP. Oh, it cleans it up with the 50 cal. I thought he was going to do an attack round on the building. Nice placement with the smoke to avoid getting killed by the Mi-28. Now we're seeing a big armor push here, and it looks like all three Russian players are cycling over towards Alpha.
Yeah, I think they've identified Alpha as the point they want to be focusing here. Going into phase 2 here, they need to get a strong lead very early in this phase on either A or B. Try to secure a foothold.
Yeah, you want to, like we've been talking about, you want to be able to play defensively in phase 3 so you can chew up and gain that destruction score. Right? If you got to if you got to constantly advance into units and buildings, ballistic missiles coming in. I don't think the US, they don't have any anti-air up here. That's almost certainly coming down. Oh, there it is. It gets shot down from way in the back. Nice team communication there. And then, the unit micro here, Relic is doing a great job of demonstrating this, keeping units parked behind buildings where they have good line of sight blockers, not in the buildings where they can be spotted. Oh, now we got some HIMARS or Gimler strikes coming in. So I don't think the Russians realize they're setting up here, but they can be seen. The US forces are tracking this push.
If you get a chance and Relica pans out, could you look over at C and see what the US has over there? Because the Russians are building up over there as well, I can see.
Oh, it looks like it's just Smoko's got a couple of units, but I don't know that he's got a lot. Looks like most, like Relica and Ozzy, are still really focused on the Alpha to India area. And Relica, he plays surprisingly zoomed in. Yeah, so Smoko's got a couple of weapon squads, but not a ton. He's just kind of getting set up here and trying to make sure he's prepped. Resetting his infantry, healing up his units. More Gimler strikes him in. Oh, wow. That immobilizing some units. That's unlucky for the Russian side. But they're getting some kills towards Smoko around Delta. And I will say, it does look like the Russians have a pretty decent anti-air network set up. Oh, RRC and Ranger Maws. But the Pantsir in the back actually doing a lot of damage to the Maws squad in the building. There's just a lot. This is why I like the faster phases. There is a lot going on right now. And a lot of these tanks up here. You're seeing, in the 2v2 tournament, you might only see like one tank at a time. So the fact that we're seeing like 3 or 4 plus Sheridans, I think this makes it a slightly more exciting format.
Yeah, they might even try to break through here if all this armor they have backed up by helis. And I got ads.
Oh, unfortunate.
Back to Relica's POV.
Yeah. You see, like, Ozzy's actually making a push towards India. It looks like a Recce on Recce fight. Oh!
Oh, a nuke coming out. They can definitely push the envelope off that. They might even be able to push D with all this stuff if they just rotated to the left.
Oh, yeah. Huge KD swing until the B2 gets shot down. That would explain why the EA6B came in. So KD is evened out, but that was a huge Russian force that was over towards Alpha that is now cleaned out. And now Relica pushing a couple FEPs, a couple M1 HCs. He's backing off in some spots for repairs, and he's got Assaultman with the small coming in as well.
Very crucial to manage a push here. You can't be going and losing stuff after a nuke like that.
Yeah, and I think he's realizing, okay, they're a little bit more dug in than I thought.
He doesn't really have a shore out or anything up here to deal with this K-52.
He's got a Viper on the way. First missile goes straight into a building. Cool. Well done.
Weekly luck. Oh, second one connects. Is the third? Oh, he doesn't have a third.
He's just got rockets. Oh no, the pants here. Oh, fortunately.
Oh, is he gonna trade with it? Oh
no, he doesn't trade out the Tunguska, and the Viper goes down. Unfortunate. So good idea for a push there. I think Aziliad looks like he's gonna continue to drive on India, but everything else is back for repairs at this point.
Mm-hmm. Ozzy can also really populate these buildings after where the nuke just went off of infantry now. Really stave them off there. Have a nice screen.
You got a couple.
And I just got ads again. That's crazy. Okay.
You got a couple. Is a good point though. A couple of good high rises and pretty clear lines of sight. So I think at the very least that nuke was really smart for helping get an Aussie set up for his push. And now Relica can slide over with Smoko and apply some pressure to Delta.
Yeah.
Now, what was the margin of victory in the last game? It was pretty steep. So the American team needs to not just win, but they need to like win by like 18 points.
They need to dominate, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got some more rockets and artillery coming in from both sides. I like the preparatory fires onto Delta with the clusters. So if there are vehicles there, they might not die, but they can take a lot of different criticals. Relic is healing up all of his units. Yeah, you're right. They need some shore adds. There's a lot of helicopters on the back end for the Russians.
The helicopters are shutting down any type of armor push they're trying to make right now.
And I also like the idea of using the Sheridan to come in and scout out different enemy units because they're so cheap. There's 65 points. So if you lose it, it's not the end of the world, but you can find all these different team weapons. Oh, the Sheridan's in tight with that K-52.
Yeah, he might be in 50 range. I think he actually is.
Oh, 52 is going to just dodge.
Luck once again.
Oh, the Sheridan. It's tucked in behind that building, but you can see the rounds are laser guided on it. They find the Recce squad. Man, I love how aggressive he's been with these Sheridans.
Yeah, I got Benji's stream back up. D is like practically open. They have 1K 52 defending it and 2 recon squads and Typhoons coming up to try and help stave off this American push here, this American aggression on D. Well, it is only one Sheridan, so they should be able to handle it quite nice. But
yeah, wait till you see what Smoko's got for him, though. That's the problem. Because, yeah, you're right. He was able to blunt Relica's push, but Smoko's coming in now as well to support.
Oh, yeah, we got some more tanks and troop transports moving up. They are in a very precarious situation on D here. They're about to get sudden death if they can hold it.
Wow. So sudden death canceled. Yeah, this is textbook Sheridan play, and Smoko he's ready to go. Look at the patience, right? He's setting up, but he's waiting for Relica to get in a good spot.
Shorad's out, or Lav AD, not going to be doing much. No APS. One missile, you have to back it up already.
You got some reasonably powerful infantry on D. Looks like Smoko's thinking better of it. The KD actually evened out quite a bit, and look at that. The cap points going away. So the Russians salvaging quite a lot at the end of phase 2 here. Like the US still going to win a couple of objective points, but not going to be, the huge, what looked like, 10 or 12 point swing that it was, even a minute ago.
Relica got just a tad bit too aggressive with his non-Sheridan units there. Kind of dropped the HP on them. He needed those up for the push there if they were planning on it.
Yeah, this is aggressive from Relica, but actually going to cleans up the Black Berets. Now he's just got to get, artillery coming in. He's moving quickly.
Cruisers too.
And really, really good use of helicopters on the back line to challenge some of these tanks from the Russian team. That's
Benji transporting around 2 Vampire squads in a little Kamaz VDV truck, setting them up behind buildings and ambushing those tanks.
It's a really nice way to play it. I guess Ozzy also got pushed off of India. Yeah, he did. So, yeah, good counterattack when it looked like the Americans might sudden death this thing.
Yeah, they just took out those smalls 2-1D. They stabilized very well considering the pressure they were under.
The Vampire, I have to check. I think because it's a recoilless rifle. Is the Sapog is a recoilless rifle, so it's not affected by APS. The Vampire, I think, is still technically an RPG, so it might be.
APS yeah, it might still gets blocked by APS.
Yeah. Oh, ATGMs on those high rises, that could be good. It feels like the Russians are very reliant on these helicopters on the back line, and now we see a Lav. Oh, the Lav gets smoked and doesn't actually kill the helicopter. Relica, he is bleeding a little bit, but he's maintaining quite a bit of pressure. Right, and you see like 3 Russian player colors there. And
yeah, I think Relica needs to back off here, to be honest. He's pushed up by himself here. His flanks are kind of starting to push into him, so it's not going to be a good situation if he gets caught out here.
Yeah, he is relying a lot on these relatively cheap tanks and instead of infantry. And I think like infantry are better for holding. I wonder how his strategy might change here going into the end of the phase. Russians up on KD. Now the US team has some ground to trade out, but remember they need to win quite a bit on points. Oh man.
Yeah. Relica getting just too aggressive here. I think he's losing a lot of his units. They are cheap, but they do add up.
Yep. Oh, those Abrams trying to repair supply depot gets hit. I'm going to quote the great Smoko and say, you have to have units to play the game. If you lose too much. The US player KD is all sitting right around at 1. I feel like a lot of that destruction has happened in the last, 3 minutes.
They pulled back to KD now. If they can maintain this kill lead and then also cap a point, they'll be in the green here, I think.
The Russians, yeah, for sure. Well, and remember they don't even need. I already forgot. For the actual tournament, I will do a much better job of keeping track of the point score going in. The Russian team won the last game, so the US team needs to win convincingly. I don't know who the victor will be. But
does that strike at anything? No.
Oh, there's that pilot, free 150 points. Strike Eagle coming in with a big bombing run. Relica, he's doing his thing, flipping it around. 6 500-pounders away, and that's a dead Motostrelky. And it looks like the Strike Eagle is going to get away. Nice, well done. I honestly expected with the Marine Airborne deck to see more air abuse from Relica. Abrams doing a great job managing these T-80s. The gun on the Abrams, potentially undervalued. The kinetic projectiles just do so well. All right, we see more Gimlers barrages coming in on the back line. Oh, it looks like they found some supply. But
Russians are making a push for B as well. I can see that on my end here. They don't really have a good force to push for A, though, so they might just be locked in a staring match here. I think they're going to play for B and I here, holding I, D, and then playing for B. I think that's going to be their out.
Yeah, well, the KD is totally evened itself out. Going into the final 5 minutes here, I think, if you're bringing in if you need to bring in units, you need to bring them in now. I thought Ozzy was going to grab India here for a second. It looks like he's got the ability to push on that. But again, the question is how much do you want to push going into the last minute versus focus on just racking up KD?
Yeah.
The Strike Eagle looking for an opportunity again here from Relica. Oh, is the Barbarous going to sit still long enough for him to get this shot off? He's trying to laser Des for it. Oh, it panics it, but doesn't do any damage. Man, those 500 pounders, the penetration is very limited. You got to get either like top or rear armor hits on the Barbarous.
Yeah. Barbarous walking into 2 lab ATMs.
Yeah, with the
Those things
APS.
are going to get smoked. Yeah, those things are just dead. Shorad caught out on the road too. It's going to go down.
Oh man, more Strike Eagle from Relica, but I feel like it's too early. It's too soon, right? There's still 4 minutes left.
Really good coordination on Indigo, by the way, there. The striker Shorad was eliminated, and Benji moved up his alligator to help out his teammate there to try and clear out some of Ozzy's force.
All right, so we're going to see an attempt at killing the Barbarous again. Laser Desing for the 500 pounders, and it gets it.
Those connect. Hell yeah.
Okay, so a heavy unit sniper, F-15E, but man, he just has, you can tell he's such a good feel for the timing of those strikes. Like, he can loiter it close enough and then get it in to get the hits. That's pretty impressive. And the self des too. You gotta love it.
Cool Pun's taking out the Blackhawk in the back line. I don't know if you caught that. Laser guided him in.
Oh my gosh. All right, another Strike Eagle. Oh, here we go. Another laser onto the alligator. Got it.
Bada bing, baby. Who needs Shorads when you have 500-pound JDAMs?
That is textbook. Oh, the Strike Eagle wandering a little too close to the front. Relica's probably like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, I can hear him screaming it right now, probably. It's in my head.
I'm actually kind of surprised. Smoko, he set up really far behind Bravo. He's got some javelins and some Cav Scouts. But this is, I don't know if this is going to be enough points for the US team to win the game. Maybe they're expecting a big final push from the Russians, maybe try to pick up some destruction score.
I don't know if the big push is going to come. I think they're going to piecemeal out their pushes here. Might try to push for A and B. Oh, no, it looks like they're actually just going to Ooga Booga A. They're setting up the smoke on it right now, the Russians are.
Yeah, the smoke's showing up a little late and in kind of a weird spot. Oh, they just smoked the line vertically. That's wild. Relica responds by throwing his tanks onto Alpha as well to prevent the cap. Ozzy's still pushing for India, and I think that's risky because he's clearly bleeding. Gotta worry about giving away KD. Oh, all these...
Those airborne from Relica don't have the NGWS.
Oh, they don't?
So they don't have the Moz, yeah.
Oh.
They just have the AT4s. Interesting decision there.
Yeah, I really like... That's what ZMA was talking about. I really like the Gustav on the airborne and NGWS. Or next generation squad weapon, NGSW. Thank you. I get it. Oh. So A is going to stay on the American side. KD advantage largely wiped out for the Russians. Is there another counter push? It looks like Smoko's going to think about diving for Delta here.
Even if the game ends with the current point standing, I do believe, based off the last game, the Russians are going to come out on top here.
Yeah, I think so as well. It was a pretty convincing victory last time. Smoko F-35 gets annihilated. He's going to push onto Delta, though. We're almost there. 20 seconds. These guys have swung games like this before. Now they're passing on KD. Delta going to hop in the building there with those Diversanti and GRU. Yeah, they're going to have to eject themselves from the building. But that...
And we're having GG's called.
Yeah, so it's going to be 12-0, which I don't think is enough in the best of two. So Team Benji
15-0.
15-0 at the very last second.
They got kill score at the very second. Yeah, the very last second there.
Who even won this? Does anyone know?
That's up to Mule. The Mule, that's Mule's job. He told me to bugger off, so here I am.
Mule, what was the score? I don't even know. But you know what I do know, Bober? It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining. Unfortunately, I have eclipsed my game time for the evening. It is family time. So we're gonna wrap here. For everyone that joined us, I thought this was a really fun format. I like 3v3. I was a big fan of 2v2, but there's a little bit more action in 3v3. I like the 10-minute phases. Let me know what you think, right? Because these guys, this is a test tournament. They wanted to see how the rules worked, how the format worked. So let us know. Yeah, we will. I'm going to wrap this one here. We'll talk about this. I got some more videos coming on balance and the Broken Arrow roadmap. So looking forward to publishing those. Bober, thank you, dude. Mule, thank you for setting this up. And that's going to do it here, gents. We'll catch y'all later.
Sir, enjoy your family time. Thanks for casting. Appreciate you.
Will do. And Canadian, thank you. Canadian, the VOD is on Twitch and also on YouTube for you to watch if you want to watch back some of the other games. Yeah, William. All right, everyone. Out here.
I will catch you, boss. Bye-bye.
Later, bro.